This is case number 554 on the calendar in the matter of Wagner versus Solomon. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. May be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Wagner, Mr. Solomon was your boyfriend for a while, and you lived together. He has 2 children?
Yes, ma'am.
You have?
One.
And according to your complaint, Mr. Solomon asked you to move out of the house. There was a problem. You did move out of the house, and you claim that Mr. Solomon kept some of your stuff, refused to give it back to you, ruined some of your stuff when he put it out in the rain, and then caused your car to be towed from his place of business, and you can't get it out unless you have thousands of dollars. Mr. Solomon says that he gave you ample opportunity to retrieve your stuff. He said that the car that you left in the parking lot of his business wasn't running. You should have moved it because he had to have it towed. It was in the parking lot. That's your problem. You didn't take responsibility for your own things. He is counterclaiming, alleging some nonsense, but he also says that you damaged his car. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so give me the dates that you lived together, Miss Wagner.
We moved in together into our new house on August.
August of 2006. And were you both on the lease?
Yes.
When did you separate?
It was November 14th, the day we broke up.
Now, I want you to tell me about that date.
Okay, he had given me my new engagement ring, and I was still in the bed sleeping when he woke me up trying to jerk the ring off my finger. And I was asking what he was doing. He said that he found out that I cheated on him, that he wanted us to break up, and that it was over for me to leave. So he jerked me up by my arm. I called her. She came and picked me and my son up, and we left.
November 14th?
Yes.
When for the first time did you try to get your property?
I came back on November 25th to get my things.
Well, what'd you do between November 14th and the 25th?
He wouldn't let me come to his house.
Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am, that's not true.
And yes, sir.
Okay. Let's get to the point where you believed she was not being faithful to your relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
That came to a head on November 14th.
I said she needed to make a life choice. Either she wanted the lifestyle where she was going to be out all night long, or the family lifestyle that we had set up. I have 2 children. I raise on my own.
Gotcha. Done. So she left.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Now, when she left, did you prohibit her from taking any of her property?
No. Now,
That's a hesitant no.
She came and went as she pleased for the first month after that. She would come and do laundry at the house. She would come and get just a few clothes and leave everything else until I had to call the police.
Mr. Solomon?
Because at first I allowed it. I allowed her time to find a place to get her things to take to.
You mean between November 14th and November 25th?
It went on long past that, yes.
She was coming back and forth to the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Wagner, let me tell you this. I believe him. I want you to understand that my job is to be able to tell if somebody is pulling my leg or not. I believe that after you left on November 14th, you went back and forth to the house freely. Do you understand?
Okay.
So if you're to tell me that that's not true, I'm not going to believe you.
Okay,
Do you
well,
understand?
I have proof of this.
You have just a
On
second.
November
You have proof that you never went back to the house with his permission after November 14th?
Can I tell you something?
He
I
want
the locks on me,
I
so
want
couldn't
you
get
to
in.
pay careful attention to what I'm saying to you, madam. I can tell when somebody is not telling the truth. Between November 14th and November 25th, did you enter the house?
Yes.
How many times did you enter the house between November 4th? You see how easy this is getting?
Right, I got you. I went in twice when he was there, and once when his babysitter was there.
So you entered the house when he wasn't at home?
Yes, one time.
I don't care if it was 1 time or 10 times. Now, when he wasn't home, why didn't you get your stuff?
I was, and his babysitter said if I didn't leave, she was going to call the cops because he doesn't want me there. So I left. And when I went back on the 25th, like he said I could, he called the cops on me and Ashley because I was getting all my things when I brought boxes and everything. And the cops said I had to leave.
Was there a time, I've read his answer, that Mr. Solomon spoke to your aunt about you coming to the house to get your property?
Yes.
When was that?
December 19th is when we all agreed to meet at the house. Yes.
Not all agreed. When for the first time did you call Mrs. to tell her to at least accompany Miss Wagner to the house?
I went to her place of employment and had a long conversation with her, and Miss agreed to be the go-between, and that she would be present at the time, and she would be there when she came to get her things. It wouldn't be an argument.
And that happened December 19th? Is that when the arrangement was made?
Somewhere close to that.
Fine. Now what happened, Miss Wagner?
Okay, I went over there.
Look at me.
I went over there on the 19th.
With your aunt?
No, she said she wasn't going to come. It was just going to be me, that I needed to go down there.
That was the arrangement. The arrangement that was made with Mr. Solomon and your aunt was she said she would accompany you.
She didn't have enough time to do whatever she had to do, so she said that I needed to come by myself. So I did. I talked to Chris, and he was there. We talked. I mean, we were fine.
Well, if you were fine, why didn't you get your stuff?
I was packing my things, and that's when he called the cops on me. He pulled out a gun and was like, I'm going to shoot anybody that comes up in this house to help you. And that's when I was like, let's just leave. It was me and Ashley. My son was there. He said everything would be fine, so I came.
Wait, ma'am.
Go ahead.
When she came to the house, she came to get a few things.
No,
the
that is
argument
not true.
was that I thought you were coming to get everything, not just a few things. A pair of black pants is exactly what she was looking for, and that's all she was going to get and leave. At that point, I said, no, if you're not getting anything, you don't need to be here. You coming in and out of me and my children's life is doing nothing but hurting them more. They were attached to her. We had a family together. She's coming and going and doing nothing but dragging this on.
So what you're saying, Mr. Solomon, is Miss Wagner wasn't coming to get all of her things
ma'am.
on December 19th. She was coming to get a pair of slacks
Yes, ma'am.
from the house.
That is not true.
Were you packing up
Yes,
your
I was
stuff?
packing my stuff that day. And the cop told
What were
me
you packing?
all my things. I was in the laundry room at the time packing up all the clothes in the bags, and I was packing up all the stuff, and when I walked back in the kitchen to go get more boxes, that's when he pulled the gun out and was like, anybody that comes in here, because I was on the phone saying, can you please come help me with the truck so I can get everything. And he was like,
Who
if
were
you...
you talking to on?
Her boyfriend, Jamie,
Why wasn't Jamie there with the truck? Why were you calling him?
because I needed somebody with a truck to come help me.
Well, why weren't those arrangements made before, Miss
Because
Wagner?
he said he was going to use his truck to help me move everything. We were still talking. Everything was fine.
Go ahead.
Well, when I went back through the thing, he pulled out the gun, all that kind of stuff happened, and he was like, if you're not going to be with me and you don't want a family, to leave. And I was like, just let me get my stuff. It's not going to take me that long. I don't have that much stuff at the house. And when he told me to leave, he said, fine, I'm just going to call the cops. Well, I'd already called the cops because he had pulled the gun out after I got off the phone with Jamie, and I said I was going to leave. I'd rather have a cop there when I'm packing all my stuff.
Why didn't you bring your aunt? It would have been much easier. That's who we made arrangements with.
She didn't want to come.
I'm not so sure about that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You mean after he pulled the gun on you, after you called the police on him, you spent Christmas morning together with him, opening up presents with the
For
children?
the kids, yes.
And later today,
What you're telling me is that she held the plane tickets over your head in order to get you to sign the lease. That's ridiculous. You sound ridiculous, like a ridiculous baby.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nicole Wagner says former live-in boyfriend Christopher Solomon owes for the return of rent. Christopher is countersuing for storage costs and vandalism to his car.
Go ahead.
And the cop came down there and said that if I needed certain things for my son, I can go get them, but I had to leave. And if we wanted to settle this, we had to settle it together,
Fine.
or we had to go to court.
Very good.
And that I couldn't come back until we did.
That was December 19th.
Yes.
When did you go to court?
We didn't go to court.
Well, when did you file to get your stuff?
I never did. He
Why
said
not?
he was going to file to take me to court for leaving my stuff there.
What?
Yeah.
If you wanted your stuff, the police told you what to do. They said go to court. Why didn't you go to court and file a claim against him for your stuff?
I would have if I had the money to do it. On Christmas,
You don't need the money to do it.
It costs $48 to take somebody to court for small claims.
Well, you have a 4-year-old child, madam. How are you supporting yourself?
Well, at the time, I had lost my job when we were together because
How
we
were
wanted
you
to be a
supporting
house
yourself?
mother. My mother was helping me at the time.
Then you ask your mother for $48 so you can file a small claims case.
Well, between her and my aunt talking to Chris was telling them that I was going to be able to get my stuff. We just needed to set a better date.
Baloney.
And that's what was said.
Baloney. But let's do me a favor. Could we get to the truck, please? When did you leave your truck at his place of business?
When we were together, we
What
had left
month?
it there.
What month?
I'm not sure. It broke down, I think, in August.
And you just left it at the parking lot?
Right.
You left in November.
Right.
Why didn't you take your truck?
Because he gave me time to find a home for me and my son to live in.
Oh, so he was just a
And-
second. So after November, now what you're telling me is, Miss Wagner,
When we were broke
now
up-
what you're telling me is that after he threw you out in November,
We
he
spoke
gave you
plenty of times after that.
he gave you time to find a place to live, which was very nice after he believed that you were cheating.
Right.
He gave you time to find a place to live and get settled. That's what you're telling me.
Correct.
So it wasn't all terrible. And that included finding a place where you could take your truck that had broken down in August.
Right.
How long did he give you?
He said I can have until January 31st to move my truck.
January 31st. That was the date. Is that the date you gave her,
On a
sir?
Wednesday.
Is
No,
that
ma'am.
the date you gave her?
No, ma'am.
She makes things up as she goes
even-
along. She doesn't
No,
realize that when
no.
I tell her things that I can tell when somebody is lying to me, that I can tell.
Ma'am, I have
When
a
did
picture
you
here.
have the truck towed, sir? Give me the date.
January 1st.
January 1st. So you had the whole month of December,
Right.
Yeah, the whole month of December, after things were not going well. You should have moved your truck.
Well, we only started talking after December 25th. And after that, he said that I could have up until January 31st to move my truck. And I said, you know, we were still talking. We spent Christmas morning together. You know, we switched presents for kids and everything.
Really? You mean
add.
after he, just a second, Miss Wagner, you mean after he pulled a gun on you?
Yeah,
after
we
your gloves,
decided to be friends.
after he pulled a gun on you, after you called the police on him, you spent Christmas morning together with him, opening up presents with the children.
For the kids, yes.
Mr. Solomon, the truck she takes care of by herself. You want the truck? You want to get it out of impound? Pay for it. You had ample opportunity to get your stuff. You didn't get your stuff. It's gone. It's over. You want to go into your counterclaim with me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm timing you, Mr. Solomon.
Yes, ma'am. On New Year's Eve, I started receiving some prank phone calls coming from private numbers, but easily recognized her voice after living together for so long.
Not true.
I said, you know, I'm older. I don't need this going on in my life, this drama. You know, if this is the way it's going to be, then you can come get your stuff now, and I'm going to start putting it outside. And when she came over thinking I was putting some of her things outside, she raised a lot of Cain, and after she left, they went outside, and there was a nice chunk out of the side of my car. Somebody evidently had run a key that was not there before into the side of my car.
And can I say something on that?
Yeah, sure.
She's my witness when she came with me down there to get my things that he left out in the rain. And when he called me, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We were already at home in the bed, and I had to ask the lady downstairs to keep an eye on my son while I ran and got my things out of the rain. When we got down there, he was outside drunk.
You woke somebody up?
Yes.
A neighbor downstairs, you woke somebody up 4 o'clock in the morning? You know, you probably...
And we all lived together.
You probably wouldn't know the truth if it came up right over here.
Yeah, and I have text messages from his phone.
You don't have proof that she did it. Could have been her, could have been the guy that she brought with her, it could have been somebody else.
I understand.
It's over.
Yes, ma'am.
It's over. Finished.
Okay.
It was a bad scene. Move on. You too. Goodbye.
I have.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He played house for a while,
He wanted me to be a housewife,
but after she remembered what the party life was like,
and you like a soccer mom.
she chose that lifestyle over that one, so.
I wasn't ready for that, and I told him that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Oriole versus Stuckenschneider. Step forward, please.
Heather Oriole is suing her ex-boyfriend, John Stuckenschneider, for mortgage payments, the cost of an airline ticket, and harassment.
He used to be your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
It is your claim that he moved into a home that you owned
Yes, ma'am.
with a child, your son,
My son, that's correct.
and it was the agreement that he was going to pay the mortgage on that home while he was living there,
Yes.
and then eventually you were going to move in together.
Yes.
It is your claim that he failed to pay the mortgage on the house, that you didn't find that out right away. You were forced to make up those payments. It damaged your credit. And in addition, a small loan for a plane ticket that you made to him, and you claim he's been harassing you.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody harasses people. I don't understand that. So tell me about the arrangement about the mortgage. That's really the big piece of this lawsuit.
In March of 2006, I purchased the home so that the defendant and his son would have a place to live.
Where were you living before, sir?
I was leasing another house, and that lease expired.
And you were living with your son. How old's your son?
He's 22 now.
So he's an adult.
Yes.
So, lease expired, you bought the house, he moved in. What was the mortgage payment?
It was a combined payment. It was 100% financing, so I had to get 2 mortgages, and combined, it was a total of about $1,300.
And when was he supposed to live there with you?
Our agreement, our understanding, when I made the commitment to buy this house, was that when his son felt he could financially afford to move out, which we were anticipating at the end of 2006, at that time he and I would get married and we would join our families and live in that home together, and I would sell my other house.
Is that your agreement so far, sir?
It's a little bit different than that. We actually tried to get the mortgage together, and because of a negative credit situation with a prior divorce, I could not
On
qualify
your part.
for the
On your part.
Absolutely, I could not qualify for the loan, and so the agreement was that she would go ahead and finance the house. I would be responsible for the mortgage payments on the property. Within a week of that signing, we would add my name to the deed. Of course, that didn't happen. But within a year of great payment history, we'd be able to refinance again with me added to the loan.
Fine. When did you move out of the house?
I think it was November.
Of 06?
Yes.
How many mortgage payments did you make?
I made 3 or 4. I actually have my bank statements that reflect that, then they're highlighted here.
Well, you moved in March or April.
I can't remember exactly when we closed, but it was right after.
It was right at the 1st of April when he moved in.
Okay.
You should have made 7 mortgage payments.
If I had been current, which didn't happen.
Well, so I got it.
Right.
How many mortgage payments did you miss?
2. 2 mortgage
How many
payments.
did he miss?
On the larger mortgage, it was 2, and on the smaller mortgage, it was 4.
The larger mortgage was how much?
$961.
And on the smaller mortgage, you missed 4?
Yes, ma'am.
The smaller mortgage was how much?
$346.46.
$346. Okay, fine. So far you owe her $33.06 plus late fees because you didn't pay. Now you want to tell me why you didn't pay?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm only marginally curious.
All right.
How old are you first?
I'm 43.
43. What do you
Yes.
do for a living?
I'm in the insurance business.
Go ahead.
I moved in the house, made the mortgage payments. I was in a new career. It was going great for the first few months, and I was making the payments, and then the certain promises that were made to me by the company didn't materialize. I lost bonuses that I thought were coming to me. This was never...
You know, sir, you want to tell it to Oprah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, me, TFT. I will explain that to you later. You have to pay a $3,306 because every 43-year-old man pays rent, especially when he lives at a place with his 22-year-old son.
Your Honor.
That's what you do.
At this time, at the first of this thing, I didn't even have a lease on this particular property.
I don't care whether you have a lease or not. You want to live rent-free, go to
No,
a
absolutely
shelter.
not. No.
Let's get to the plane ticket. She booked, according to her, a plane ticket, $308. Let's hear your version.
Okay. She had been talking to me for some time about signing a lease on the property. I was reluctant because we hadn't done the deed thing. That had not happened. My name had not been added to the deed. This opportunity to go to Vegas came up. I didn't have the money to go. She offered to pay that only if I would sign that lease. And so I did. And she paid for the ticket. Also in that lease, there's a clause that states that as long as I kept the payments current, that I would receive all tax benefits from the payments. Of course, 100% interest at this point.
Listen to me. You've just told me there's a clause in the lease, which I haven't even seen, that as long as you're current in your payments, you get the tax benefit. You weren't current in your payments, so
Correct.
that clause is null and void. Right? I also told you that you're a big grown-up man who has a 22-year-old son, and grown-up men pay rent. You don't live someplace free. You want to live free, go to the Salvation Army. You chose to live in this very comfortable home. You have to pay. And if what you're telling me is that she held the plane tickets over your head in order to get you to sign the lease, that's ridiculous.
Well, that's
Ridiculous.
what happened,
You sound ridiculous, like a ridiculous baby. Now, I don't want to be bothered by your harassment. Somebody with this kind of accent doesn't harass you. He could be annoying.
Highly.
Now, what were the penalties? Were there any mortgage penalties that you had to pay?
All of the payments that I made that are a reflection of the extra interest and penalties that were built in. So
Okay, that were built in. So then he owes you $3,614. Plane ticket and mortgage. Thank you very much. You're a very nice couple. You don't belong together. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 538 on the calendar in the matter of Bierce versus Bierce.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mr. Bierce, the defendant is your former wife. You have one child.
I have 2 children, ma'am.
How old are they?
My son is 24. My daughter is now 17.
You were divorced, and when you were divorced, according to your complaint, you were awarded custody of your daughter, who was then either 15 or 16. You and your wife were living in Florida at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
But subsequent to the divorce, you and your daughter moved to Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And it is your claim that during a summer visit, that following summer, your daughter went to visit with her mother, and her mother failed to return her from the visit. She went to court seeking a change in the custody decree, forcing you to incur expenses, going down to Florida, fighting the custody award, and getting a lawyer. You want her to pay those expenses.
Yes, Judge.
And your former wife says that your daughter wanted to stay. She preferred to stay in Florida. You really should have been more understanding. Ultimately, your daughter did return to your custody. Is that right?
Yes, Judge.
In what year were you divorced?
April, it was 2005.
And how old was your daughter at the time?
15.
Was there a consent that your daughter remain in your custody?
Basically, my ex-wife wanted the divorce. She said if I give her the house, if I give her all the furniture, half the bank account, the main car, all that stuff, I could have my daughter. And she also knew that if she went through with a divorce, that I told her I was going back to Pittsburgh because I had nothing left in Florida.
Were you raised in Pittsburgh?
Yes, ma'am. That's where my family's at, and I wanted to provide that type of family environment for my daughter when I had custody of her.
How long had you been living in Florida?
I got stationed there in 2000, and I
So it
retired.
was a relatively short period of time.
Yeah, I retired out of the Navy out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Where's your son?
Right now, he's living with me, Judge. He was in the Navy for 5 yes.
Okay, so he's living with you now. Did you discuss the custody arrangement with your daughter, who was 15 at the time?
Yes.
And she was prepared to move with you to
Yes,
Pennsylvania?
absolutely.
So far, is that correct?
Some of it, yes, ma'am.
What is not?
Well, I believe my ex-husband stating that about the house issue and all. It wasn't about that. I did not want my daughter to continue to go through a battle with her father, that he said he would continue to battle with me until he did take her from me.
Well, she's 15 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
15-year-olds usually know what they want to do, and in court, judge usually listens to what they want to do.
Yes, ma'am. But
it's more unusual, quite frankly, Ms. Bice, since you and your husband, your ex-husband, made a home in Florida. You had been living there for several years. Daughter was in high school in Florida. It would have been difficult for him had there been a contested custody case to be successful unless you had agreed. That's clear. You were represented by counsel, weren't you?
Yes, Your Honor, but what it was my daughter was devastated that her parents were going through a divorce. My ex-husband continued to tell me that he would continue to fight to take my daughter from me. Instead of my
It's not taking your daughter from you. She's not your possession, Ms. Bice. She's a 15-year-old, almost
yes,
grown.
But her father is a
up.
very manipulative, vindictive man, and he was going to do whatever it took to take her from me. He was trying to get me as an unfit mother, and I'm not an unfit mother.
Well, I don't know that. All I know is that you have 2 children. They're both now living with their father. So, you kept the house?
Yes, ma'am.
How long had you lived in the house?
We lived in the house since July of 2000.
What kind of work were you doing while you were in Florida?
I worked at the Home Depot.
And you?
I was retired Navy, and I did not have a job. I was going back to Pittsburgh to start a second career.
So you get a pension from the Navy?
I get a half a pension now.
And you had a bank account?
Yes, we had a shared checking account.
Okay, and you got half of that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you got all the furnishings in the house?
No, ma'am. We divided the furniture.
You did?
Yes, ma'am.
What did he take?
He took his living room furniture. He took his bedroom set. He took all my daughter's belongings of her 2 rooms of furniture.
Is that right?
That is not true, ma'am.
Did you take any furniture from the house?
I did not take any of the house furniture. Absolutely not.
What did you take?
I took my clothes and my guitars and amplifiers, all my stuff.
Sort of believe that. All right, and you say the quid pro quo for that was that there would be an uncontested situation with your daughter coming to live with you. Now, tell me what happened when she went to visit her mother. When did she go to visit her mother?
She first went to visit her mother in April of 2006 during spring break. She came back. Everything seemed okay. Then she went back for the summer, and she was supposed to come back for the 4th of July weekend because we were going to have a celebration.
When did she leave for this summer break?
Somewhere at the beginning of June, right after school let out.
Okay. And what happened?
She never came back. As a matter of fact, I got a phone call from my daughter stating, I'm not coming back, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I'd like to interrupt that, Your Honor.
Just a second, I'll come back to you. So, what'd you do?
Well, first of all, I was probably mad and said some bad things because this just shocked me. And
did you ultimately retain an attorney in Florida?
Yes, my ex-wife gave me a summons. The sheriff came to my house, and then I was forced to eventually go to hire an attorney.
Now, you were divorced in April of 2005.
Yes.
When did you leave for Pennsylvania?
April 30th, 2005.
When did your daughter come to Pittsburgh?
June of 2005.
So from September 2005 until the end of that year, she went to school in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
So my question is, if your daughter wanted to stay in Florida with you, Ms. Bice, why didn't you petition the court in Pennsylvania, where your daughter had spent her last year, where now all of her school records were, for a change in custody?
Your Honor, at the time when my ex-husband received my daughter, my ex-husband had turned my children against me. My children did not speak to me until the following year. My daughter came to realize every time she discussed about coming to see her mother in Florida, he would change the subject. He would not allow my daughter.
Listen to me.
But my children were very...
You don't tell a 15-year-old what to do, and you certainly don't tell a 24-year-old what to do, Ms. Bice.
I understand that, Your Honor, but my daughter was telling me, Mom, I understand what my dad's doing. He is trying to keep me from you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your Honor, you know how it feels at broad daylight outside when 3 sheriffs came to my house and he told them that I kidnapped my daughter? You gotta be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you, madam.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Bears claims ex-wife Donna Bears interfered with his custody of their daughter. He is suing for the money he spent on legal fees.
Mr. Bice, ultimately, your daughter came back to live with you.
Yes.
Is that right? And she's with you now.
Yes.
How's your daughter doing?
She's doing very well, Your Honor.
Good.
She does well in school. She's on Silk Line team. She's a well-adjusted teenager.
Good. And what are you doing, Miss Bice, in Florida? Are you still working?
Yes, ma'am.
Where?
I work at the Home Depot as a front-end supervisor.
Do you pay child support?
No, ma'am, I do not.
How come?
When the judge signed it, my ex-husband was making extremely a lot more money than me, and the judge signed it. I did not have to pay child support.
Well, that's not usually a reason not to pay child support.
Yes, I understand that. I do send my child, on occasion, money to her, directly to her.
It's interesting that you waive child support, sir. How much did it cost you for your plane fare down to the state of Florida?
The plane fare was $487.28.
Your Honor, can I say something, please?
Yeah.
On July 1st, when I did take my daughter back to the airport, I left her because we are not able to go through security. At the time I left the airport, my daughter had called me and told me that she did not go on a plane. She did not want to go back to her father. My ex-husband did not have to purchase another plane ticket for his daughter to go back to Pennsylvania.
I'm not talking about his daughter's plane ticket. Didn't you go down to the
Yes,
state of
ma'am.
Florida?
I had
I'm talking
an
about
emergency
his
pickup
plane
order.
ticket to come down to Florida to litigate this matter. That's the plane ticket I'm talking about, Ms.
Yes, ma'am.
Bice. Not your daughter's plane ticket. His.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you want me to believe, Ms. Bice, that you took your daughter to the airport and you had no idea that she was going to not get on the plane?
Yes, ma'am. I have her boarding pass showing that I did take my child to the airport.
Well, I believe that you took her to the airport, but what I'm saying to you is you want me to believe that when you took her to the airport, you had not had any discussions with her about not getting on the plane.
We discussed about she was going back to her father until the issue that I had reopened on June 19th was resolved.
Which was?
Okay, when I received my daughter on June 8th, which I should have had her for the whole summer, but he demanded that she came back.
Get to the point.
Okay.
It's not true.
On June 18th, when my daughter made a phone call to my ex-husband, she stated to her father that she did not want to go back to him, that she loved her father, and that she was happier here in Florida with her mother. I start discussing with her. I said, Mom will go the legal route, and I will reopen this case so I can try to fight to get her back to me. On June 19th, I went to Clay County. I reopened my case with Clay County, and that's when he was served with these papers that the case was open.
Yes.
On July 25th, when I was at home and my daughter was going out of the house, is when 3 sheriffs came to my premises with a pickup order to remove my daughter from me. Her father knew where she was, and both my daughter and her father were having conversations via email, which I would like you to see.
I'd like to see them.
I did highlight parts of these emails that I think are very important that you need to read.
I will. When you filed for custody, by the way, did you also file for child support?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How come?
Because I'm not financially able to take care of my daughter on my own.
Why not?
Because I have a mortgage, I have all my bills that I have to pay.
Get 2 jobs. Why should he have to support your child without you contributing a dollar?
Well, I do work long hours.
I don't care whether you work long hours, and I have 2 children. Neither one of them live with you.
Well, my son is grown. He's 24 years old.
I understand that. You have 2 children. Neither one of them live with you. You have a daughter who was a minor, who lived with her father for a year.
Yes,
you had a
ma'am.
responsibility to pay child support. The fact that your former husband let you off the hook is something that I quite frankly don't understand. And the fact that the court let you off the hook, where jurisdictions in this country are unanimous in their conviction that both parents, irrespective of their means, are required to support a child, especially when you are the non-custodial parent. So not only did you file for custody of your daughter, but you also filed for support, despite the fact that you hadn't been paying a nickel for support.
Yes, ma'am.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's also what
Did your daughter ever discuss with you, Mrs. Bice, the part of the petition that you filed in Florida and dropping any request for support?
No, ma'am.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that your daughter didn't at some point say to you, Dad says it's all about money, it's all about the child support that you want. Would you tell Dad that you don't want any support, just let me live here with you? I don't believe that this girl who wrote these emails didn't say that to you, Ms. Bice.
At some point or another, Your Honor, when Cynthia would talk to me,
Just get to the point. Did your daughter ever discuss with you, Dad says that this is all about the money?
I love my daughter, Your Honor.
Just answer my question. Did she ever say to you, would you drop all the requests for more money and just let me live with you? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes, Your Honor, in the past.
She did.
Yes, she has.
Of course she did. And did you say, yes, I'll drop all the requests for money?
Right now, I am. Right now, my ex-husband has drawn up documentation, Your Honor, for me to have...
Not right now. When in June and July of 2006, did you say to your daughter, fine, I will go in and amend my case to drop the request for money and just tell your father, you want to live here and I'll take care of you?
Your Honor, my ex-husband would still not give the child up.
That's not what I asked you. There is no question in my mind after reading these emails that your teenage daughter liked her life in Florida. She liked her friends. She was there for the summer. It's pleasant. The weather is good, whatever it was. And she said, you know what? I think I'm going to stay with my mom, because that's what happens with teenagers. And the fact that you feel as if you've been duped, which is the way you feel. You gave up your house. You gave up your furniture. You gave up without any contest half your savings, which you would have had to have given up anyway. And the quid pro quo, according to you, was that your daughter came to live with you in Pennsylvania, away from where she had lived really for all the time she was a teenager. And then when she had an opportunity to go back, she said to her mother, you know, I like it here. I think I'd like to stay. I love my father. He's treated me very well. I like his family. She says all that to you. But I'm a teenager. I'm 16 years old. I'm happy. I can drive here in Florida when I'm 16. I can do lots more things here. So I think I'm going to stay. And her mother took the ball and ran with it. That's not a lawsuit, Mr.
Ma'am, Your Honor, can I say that on the emergency pickup order, she had no basis, no legal right to hold my daughter down in Florida without getting her back on the aircraft.
We're not talking about a 3-year-old, Mr. Bice. We're talking about a 16-year-old.
Your Honor, you know how the day on July 25th, on July 25th, when my daughter and I were leaving the premises, my neighbor across the street was on her cell phone with my ex-husband. They were communicating back and forth to each other, and the police came to my house. 3 sheriffs pulled up in my driveway, Your Honor. Do you know how it feels? I started crying. My daughter started crying. She says, Mom, please don't let these police take me from me. She was crying.
So why didn't you fight the custody order?
Your Honor, they came with this pickup order and they took her from me and her father.
I see a settlement order here, madam, that you signed off on.
Yes, but at the time, Your Honor, when they came to the premises of the house, they took her from me. The case had just been reopened, Your Honor. It didn't even make it to the court.
Miss Bice, you settled the matter.
Yes, ma'am, after that.
That's right. Well, that's what I'm saying to you.
You know how it feels at broad daylight outside when 3 sheriffs came to my house and he told them that I kidnapped my daughter? You gotta be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you, madam.
No one knows how it feels.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. You did the wrong thing.
Yes, Your Honor, but when my child is there, Mom, please don't let them take me.
Miss Bice, you did the wrong thing. There is nothing that's indicated in these emails that you gave me to suggest that your former husband was anything but a good, loving, supportive parent to this child, and even supported her visits with you by sending her down. Sent her down in April.
That's all, Your Honor. When he received...
No. He sent her down in April, and he sent her back down in June.
That's all, Your Honor, but he had the child the year before.
Miss Bice, listen to me carefully. Mother of the Year, you're not.
No one said I was.
No, Mother of the Year, you're not. It's a lawsuit that's over, that you settled. Do you understand? If your child was 3 years old and you sent her down on a visit and her mother, under those circumstances, retained her and didn't return her to you, you might have a cause. But when you're dealing with a 16-year-old who clearly communicated with you by email that she loves you, but she'd like to stay in Florida, she doesn't even say, I want to stay with my mother. Her mother really had nothing to do with it. She wanted to stay in Florida with her friends.
It's exactly what it is. It's her friends. It's the party time.
Mr. Bice, I raised 5 children. I got it. You people are fungible. You don't understand. Once you reach 16 years old, it's whichever parent is going to give them a little more latitude. She wanted to be in Florida with her friends. Her mother was irrelevant. This is not a lawsuit, Mr. Bice. Get over it. But no, you can't. You got to get over it. You have your daughter with you, which is what you want. You have your son staying with you temporarily, if that's what you want.
Granddaughter, too.
If that's what you want, terrific. I sort of feel as if once they leave the house, they don't come back. It's not a revolving door where they come back, but you want to make yourself open to that? You're a better person than I am, sir. They're yours.
What about the airline tickets and the rental car? I had to come down to get her, which she should have made sure she got her on that plane.
You can't make sure of anything with a 16-year-old, Mr. Bice. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. It's over. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've given her everything she's wanted in this divorce. She wanted a house. She wanted the furniture. She sued me a couple other times.
He harasses me continuously for 2 years straight.
Yes, case number 513 on the calendar in the matter of Castillo versus Vasquez.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Castillo, Ms. Vasquez and you lived together with your son and daughter for a period of time, and it is your claim that she left during the month of July 2006. She left without paying her half of July's rent, and in addition, she took property that didn't belong to her, a dirt bike that belonged to your son, and a 32-inch television set. Ms. Vasquez, in her defense, acknowledges that she left in mid-July and acknowledges that she didn't pay rent, but she said you didn't either, and you moved out, and that she paid for the dirt bike and the television set, so she took them. That's your defense.
Correct, Your Honor.
How long did you live together, Mr. Castillo?
Approximately 5 months, from the end of February to July 12th.
And was it your arrangement that each of you contributed half to the rent?
Yes.
Now, you moved out when in July?
I moved on July 11, 2006.
Because you hadn't been getting along?
Right, and I got a restraining order against Jason, and that's why I left, because he started getting too verbal abuse.
Verbally abusive?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You lived there part of the month of July. Why didn't you pay the rent?
When I left, Your Honor, it was a mutual agreement. I was afraid of him already. He was getting too abusive. Like I told you, I got a restraining order against...
I don't care whether you got a restraining order. You lived there till July 11th. Did you pay July's rent?
Yes, I did.
Show me.
I talked to the owner, and he got rid of all the contract papers, all the receipts.
Mr. Castillo, I can't help you, sir. If you're suing for half the rent, you know you have to be able to demonstrate to me that you paid the rent.
We were not getting receipts from the landlords. We would just pay them cash, and that's it. We never got any receipts from them. Every month, we would go drop it off, and we would get any receipts.
Mr. Castillo, that's unfortunate. Are you still living there?
No, I had to move out immediately.
You moved out immediately?
Yes, I had to.
I don't believe you paid the rent. Bring me a letter, bring me something.
Well, I have his business card here if you could contact him.
I'm not calling.
Well, I have his card. He said that he doesn't have anything on file anymore.
Well, if he has nothing on file, so what is he doing? Relying on memory that you paid July's rent? When did you move out in July? What date?
It was 2 weeks after Ms. Vasquez left. I had to clean up.
Okay, so forget July's rent. I'm not even entertaining that because I don't believe that you paid it. Next. Let's talk about the dirt bike. Now, Ms. Vasquez, I read your answer, and you say that this dirt bike was purchased about 2 years ago.
Yes, it was.
And it was purchased for Mr. Castillo's son.
Yes.
As a gift.
It wasn't a gift. It was a mutual agreement with Mr. Castillo that he was going to pay me the money. At that time...
You bought this in 2005?
Yes, it was.
How much did he pay you?
He did not pay me anything.
Right. So from 2005 until 2007, you lived together as a couple, and he didn't pay you, and the dirt bike was being used by his son.
Correct.
Get over it and return the dirt bike.
Well, Your Honor, I have a text message from Mr. Castillo that says, keep the damn bike, he'll just get a new one.
Fine, but now he's suing you, so you have to give it back to him.
I paid for that dirt bike, Your Honor.
Listen to me, I understand you paid for it. It was given as a gift, and there were no payments made on it for 2 years to you. You can't make a gift alone because you no longer get along, Miss Vasquez. The dirt bike goes back. Do you understand?
Your Honor, I paid for the dirt bike. He never paid anything.
Hey, listen to me.
I never agreed to give it a gift as him.
You are here for me to determine what is fair and what is legal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
The dirt bike will be given back to him with a marshal if necessary, and it shouldn't be necessary because the dirt bike belongs to his son. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the TV is a 32-inch television set, which you say you purchased.
Yes, I did.
Show me.
The only thing I have is I purchased it through eBay, which I have my account number. That's the only thing I have because it was paid in full when I picked up the television.
Where did you pick it up from?
In West Hollywood.
From whom?
From one of the sellers on eBay.
So it was purchased secondhand?
Yes, it was, Your Honor.
Was it purchased secondhand, sir?
Yes.
For how much?
For $60, which I paid and I picked up in my truck.
Just a second. For $60?
Yes.
When?
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 It had to be in, I believe, March or April of 2006. But we had two 32-inch TVs and a 19-inch. She left the 19-inch TV, which was very old, and took the two 32 inches, which one of them was mine. I purchased one of the 32 inches. She had purchased another one, a brand new one.
Well, how many 32-inch televisions did you take, Miss Vasquez?
I took two of them. One of them I purchased, and the other one which I purchased. I purchased 4 in total.
Just a second.
I left them 2.
Just a second. You think that you double-talk me. Don't think you can double-talk me, Miss Vasquez. You took two 32-inch television sets.
Yes.
You just told me you purchased one on eBay.
Yes.
Where was the other one purchased from?
It was purchased on Walmart, Your Honor.
Show me the bill.
I don't have the bill for that television.
One of them goes back to him. Which one?
Neither one, because he didn't purchase any of them. I
Listen
left
to me.
them
You
two
have
other
to.
televisions.
You have to get it. That you didn't come here because you were coming to a tea dance. You came here because you submitted to my jurisdiction. And because you were angry, because you were annoyed, because you no longer cared for him or whatever, doesn't mean that when you submit yourself to the jurisdiction of the court, you don't listen. You are returning the bike because I said so, and you're returning one of the TVs because I said so, because that's fair. And if you don't like it, that's too bad. One TV and the dirt bike are returned to him 5 days from today. You get it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else, sir?
I paid July's rent. I'm not lying about that.
Mr. Castillo, I don't care what you say, sir. Proof is what I want.
Okay.
You have none.
Well, all the paperwork I had, all the contracts were stolen when she left the house empty.
Where did you think you were coming today? To the beach, Mr. Castillo?
Oh, no.
You get something from the landlord indicating that you were current in your rent when you moved out.
Well, the
You
only
have
contract
none.
in existence she took when she cleaned out the house.
Listen to me. The landlord didn't die. Did he or she?
No, they didn't. But the house exchanged owners.
That's unfortunate, Mr.
Okay.
Castillo. Get over it. You get it?
I get it.
Perfect. Dirt bike, one of the TVs, goes back to him within 5 days. You can use a marshal to get it if that's necessary. We will prepare an order. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out, so wait here.
She tried to make me look like the animal or whatever.
I've had enough with him.
The real animal stole something from my son and myself.
I just didn't want to deal with him anymore.
At least I get to go home and tell my son he's getting his bike back.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Worst versus Hart. Step forward.
25-year-old Rebecca Worst is suing her ex-boyfriend, Jeremy Hart, for several unpaid loans.
Ms. Worst, the defendant is your former live-in boyfriend. You claim that he owes you for a series of loans. Mr. Hart says he doesn't owe you a dime. You control the money, not only joint money, but his money. And if he owed you any money, you should have taken it out of the money that you were controlling. Now, Mr. Hart, in his response, indicates, and you agree in your complaint, that there came a time when you believed that you could best handle his finances. He would give you his paycheck, you would put it in the bank and pay his bills with it. Is that how it worked?
We had a joint account set up in the beginning, and both of our money would go in there, and I would...
Okay. So you had a joint account.
Correct.
And he was working.
Correct.
How much money were you earning, Mr. Hart?
Weekly, I'd say about between $550 and $600.
And you would put your whole paycheck in that joint account?
I would.
And then you would draw out money as you needed it for cash, for spending money. Is that correct?
Correct.
And who took care of the bills?
I did.
His bills and your bills? And joint bills?
Correct.
So you treated it as if you were sort of a married couple. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, it is.
Okay, fine. So you tell me what you believe he owes you money for.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you understand what you just said, Miss Worst?
I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying to you, let me tell you what you just said.
And later today.
Could you try to stand still? I'm nervous. I know. But try to be nervous within yourself. Don't make me a co-conspirator in your nervousness by jumping around. It sort of makes me nuts.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Worst claims ex-boyfriend Jeremy Hart owes for several unpaid loans.
Go ahead.
There were certain purchases put on my credit cards because Jeremy had bad credit.
What did he put on your credit card?
There were some car repairs for his Volkswagen Jetta.
What else?
Also, for his tuition, he wanted to start back up school. He was going to be getting loans, but the school needed money right away. I thought he would pay me back.
Just a second. Where did that money come from?
My credit card.
And your credit card payment was paid out of this joint account?
Correct. It was paid out of the joint account, but we had our separate checking accounts. And in January, he put his check into his own checking account, and I put my check in my own checking account, and we were combining money to pay bills.
Miss Worst, listen to me very carefully.
All right.
On this credit card, was there anything other than the car repair?
Yes, there were.
You're right. And that credit card payment that was made did not delineate what was being paid off. Your makeup, your hairdo versus his car payment. You made one payment to the credit card company.
Okay.
You don't get reimbursed for that. You don't. If you choose to set up a joint checking account and he puts his whole check in the checking account and you put your check in the checking account and there are his bills and your bills and joint bills, no court is going to waste their time trying to separate that. Now, let's move on. In January, somebody must have gotten fed up with the way the finances were working in January.
Yes.
Who was it that got fed up? You. What happened after January?
Well, we had these outstanding credit card bills that
Listen to me. I'm not interested in the credit card bills. When was the tuition loan that you allege?
These loans were made back in 05 before the account was split.
Okay. When did you separate?
We broke up in June of 06.
And when, for the first time after June of 06, did you tell him that he owed you money?
The day we broke up, we discussed it, and he agreed he owed me the money and that he would be getting it to me.
What did he say he owed you money for?
The car repairs, the tuition.
Is that right, sir?
I didn't say it. There was never any.
No, look at me.
What's up? Oh,
Don't look down there.
We never really talked about repayments of any kind.
When you put in your check in this joint account, did you know what was being paid out?
No, I kind of just trusted her to do it.
So the rent that you were paying from that 6 months that you had a joint account, how much was the rent that you were paying?
$600.
Who stayed in the apartment when you separated? Did anybody remain in the apartment? You stayed in the apartment. So you have the apartment now. Okay. And where did you move to?
I moved home with my parents.
Was there a lease on the apartment?
It is above his mom's garage, and I talked to her when I moved out.
Don't tell me what she said to you. That's
I'm
hearsay.
not telling you. I'm just saying, and I talked to her when I moved out, and she was fine with my moving out.
That's hearsay.
Okay.
Worst.
All right.
Don't look down there. You knew exactly what I was saying. I said, don't tell me what she said. That's hearsay.
Okay.
So when you say she says it's fine that I moved out, that's hearsay.
Okay.
Okay. Did you have a lease was my question.
No.
Okay. So you stayed because it's your mother's place.
Yeah, I'm trying to help her out by...
Yes, would be the answer. And did you pay the rent from the joint account, or did he?
I did.
How much were you earning at the time?
I was working 60 hours a week, so between $600 and $650.
So you were earning pretty much the same thing.
Even though I'm earning a weekly amount that looks the same as him, I'm working my way through grad school, and I'm paying my grad loans and my books and my tuition.
Mr. Hart was not?
Correct.
So that the majority of what he put in, which was the same thing that you put into the joint account, was spent on household bills, while according to what you just said to me, what you were paying for out of what you were earning was grad school.
I have a budget, so I was able to afford to put money towards both.
Did you understand what you just said, Miss Worst?
I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying to you, let me tell you what you just said.
All right.
He was earning $550 a week.
Correct.
And you were earning, you said, about $600 a week.
Correct.
So I said you were earning about the same thing. You said to me, yes, but I was spending a lot of what I was earning on my graduate school. I'm putting myself through graduate school. That would suggest that since he was not, the majority of what he was putting into the account was spent on household bills.
No, it was spent on himself.
Get over it, put a period, and say goodbye. Goodbye to him.
I have said goodbye to him. I have a loan to pay off, and I'd like to pay it off.
You don't have a loan, you have a credit card. And nobody is going to go back through that credit card and figure out how much of the $550 a week that he put into the joint account was spent on his car payment, his tuition payment, your expenses. Nobody's going to do that because I'm not your mother. Do you understand? You want to keep things separate and apart. You have two separate bank accounts. You put things together, you act like grown-ups, you have to behave like grown-ups. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She tried to change around who I was.
It's hard to pay off the bills.
Stay-at-home daddy.
When somebody says they're going to help you and they don't.
White picket fence type.
He didn't have enough money to go buy beers and go out with the boys.
I said good luck.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Latore versus Hanlon. Step forward.
Alexandra Latore says ex-boyfriend Anthony Hanlon owes for several unpaid loans.
Miss Latore, this used to be your boyfriend.
Yeah, he claims not, though.
And is your claim that he scammed you out of some money?
Yeah, basically.
Mr. Hanlon says that he never scammed you out of any money. Pretty much you're a nut. Is that your defense, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a good one.
Tell me about the first bit of money that you gave to Mr. Hanlon.
Well, we met back towards the end of March in 06, and at that time...
Could you try to stand still?
I'm nervous.
I know, but try to be nervous within yourself. Don't make me a co-conspirator in your nervousness by jumping around. It sort of makes me nuts.
Well, the first bit of money came when I got my taxes on April 15th, 06. And he took me and my kids to Target to go buy some stuff for my kids. And he had called me outside and asked me if he could borrow $200 because he needed to pay his insurance to his car. And I was like, okay. He said he'll pay me back. That was the first. So we kept seeing each other after that daily, whatnot. And it came around where I had brought to his attention I was looking for an apartment because I wanted to get out of the transitional place I was at with my kids. And his cousin was moving out and she was offering to sublet the apartment. So that had a $1,000 money order that I had put to the side for my taxes. Out of that, I went and go cash and I gave him $700 to put as security for the apartment.
Who did you give the money to?
To Mr. Hanlon.
Now, she gave you that money, Mr. Hanlon.
No, ma'am.
Who did she give the money to?
I don't know. She didn't give me
That's
any
a
kind
lie.
of money.
Did you tell her about this apartment that was available?
I don't know anything about what she's talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
That was that, and then I kept coming around asking him, you know, what's going on with the money. He kept giving me excuses on the manager this. I was to the point where, you know what, I want to go myself, and I was going to get belligerent with the manager because he kept giving me the runaround that this manager was giving him about the money. He was like, well, if it's a problem, I'll have my cousin Leslie write you over a personal check. Then what happened was his car had got taken away, and he had called me to try to help him to get the car out. And I had told him, you know, I could help him out, but he was like, fishing for like the whole amount to get the car out. And so I was like, I can't help you. And he kind of got mad because I was like, I can't help you because I need to put my money in savings.
So you didn't give him money for the car?
No. That's
Perfect.
where it became a problem.
Great.
No.
Go ahead.
And at that time, we had talked about purchasing a car. And some guy was going to sell him a Regal. And he had talked about fixing it up. And then later on, the car would be left for me and the kids and when I had the baby.
Can we get on with it, please?
So I gave him $1,000 basically. And he had put that in his bank account. And he didn't buy the Regal because we talked about going to auction. So he was renting a car and he needed $300 up front. So that was the $300 I gave to him out of my purse. And he was supposed to give that back to me. He never did. So when he rented the car after the weekend was over, he decided to leave. And when he decided to leave, he told me that he was going to give me back the $1,000, and that never happened either.
Go.
Only thing I know about Your Honor is the $500 that I had totally owe her, and that's for the $300 for the car that she had let me rent recently, and $200 miscellaneous cash for gas money.
That's
and
not
I told her
true.
no problem. I will reimburse you that back.
Talk to me about the $1,000 that she says she gave you to put down on a car.
I don't know anything about that.
Any proof that you gave him $1,000? A check? Copy of a money order? A withdrawal from your bank?
I don't have a bank account. He put it in his bank account.
Well, how did you cash
It was
the check?
cash. No, when I got I show you the statement from my taxes the day I got it, and out of the taxes is where I gave him the $1,000.
How much did you get from your taxes?
$4,600 and something.
And what did you do with the other $3,000?
I bought stuff for my kids and bought stuff for my house that I needed.
No, you mean you cashed that check? You kept the money in your apartment?
I paid my rent. And I give him some, because I don't keep cash. I don't have a bank account, basically. I don't have a bank account.
Miss Latour, I don't believe a word you just said to me.
Okay.
Now, she says you also took her son's PlayStation. Was it
Her son's PlayStation.
Yeah.
Her son's PlayStation.
Look at me.
I have a PlayStation. Yes, ma'am, I do, absolutely. But that was not for her son. She specifically bought the gift and gave it to me and said, here, this is yours. She purchased
That's a lie.
2 PlayStations.
That's a lie.
2 of them,
at
both.
the same time?
I would hope so. She brought them home at the same time to her house while I was there.
Will you return the PlayStation?
Yes,
sir?
ma'am,
Perfect.
with the quickness.
Very good. 1 PlayStation there. So you return the PlayStation to her?
No problem. It will be returned.
Is it in good condition?
It's still in good condition. I have the box and everything, ma'am.
Within 5 days, it goes back to her.
Yes, ma'am. Before that,
Along
today.
with the $500 that you borrowed from her.
Whenever I get it, yes, I will get
No,
that.
now.
I don't have that now.
You'll get it now.
Oh.
That's the judgment. $500 on the PlayStation. Clear?
Clear.
Very good. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. Ms. Stephens, case number 449 on the calendar in the matter of Anashevska versus Lutz Henry. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mrs. Anashevska, you own a car, but your daughter was driving the car?
No, my daughter owned the car.
Your daughter is how old?
16. She worked for 2 years to purchase this car. I own it with
Who was the titled owner of the car?
both of us.
Okay, because she's a minor, she can't own the property.
Right.
That's why you're here. And according to your complaint, these 2 young men took your daughter's car really almost without her permission or with her coerced permission, according to you. She was in the car. They drove the car recklessly. They blew the engine of the car, and they also sexually abused her and assaulted her while she was in the car. That's what you say.
Yes.
That's what your daughter told you.
Yes.
These 2 guys say, listen, we were at a party. She let us drive the car. We drove the car with her in it around the block a couple of times. Nothing else happened. The car died. They had nothing to do with it. Is that right, gentlemen?
That's correct.
Okay. So since you weren't there and you really don't know what happened, is that a fair statement?
That's fair.
I just have a few questions for you, then you can sit down. When did this incident happen with your daughter?
July 26th.
And when had she gone out that day?
She'd been at a family reunion until roughly 10-ish.
Don't look at her, look at me.
Roughly 10 when she was...
10 p.m.?
Correct.
So she was at a family reunion with you all day?
No, with her father.
Okay.
We're divorced.
So you really don't know anything that happened that day?
It's just from her.
just for my purposes, I'm going to get what she told you. She told you she got a call. She was at a reunion with her father until 10 o'clock. Then she got a call from some people, and she left.
Correct.
And did she tell you where she went?
To be a sober driver for this party.
Now you can sit down. Step up. Tell me your first name.
Jamie.
Ryan.
How old are you, Ryan?
22.
Corey. 21.
What time had you arrived at this party?
Around 7 o'clock.
How many people were there?
Probably 10, 12.
And whose house was it at?
Friends, Mike.
What time did you see her at the party?
It's been 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Is that right?
No, it was later than that.
How late?
It was around 10:30.
What were you doing at the party?
Anna, a friend of mine from high school, had called me and she was drinking.
Called you where?
On my cell phone. I was on my way back home and asked me to drive her because she had been drinking.
So you arrived at this party. Had you known about the party that day?
No.
You had no idea that there was a party at Mike's house?
Exactly.
Did you know Mike?
From school, yes.
So you knew him?
Yes.
Had you ever been to his house before?
No.
So you got there at 10:30, and what did you do?
I drove some people home. I drove some people to Quick Trip.
You drove some people home?
Yes.
Who did you drive home?
Anna and Sarah.
About how far was it to drive them home from Mike's house?
It was probably a 10-minute drive.
And what did you do after you dropped them off?
Well, we went to her house and were there for
Who's
Anna's house, sorry.
You went to Anna's house, just the three of you?
Right. And we were there for about a half an hour. Her mother asked if she had driven. She said no, I was the sober driver. And I talked to her mother. And then she decided she wanted to go back to the party. So I took her back.
That was pretty stupid.
Yes, it was.
So you took her back to the party. Where was her mother when you decided to take her back to the party?
She went to sleep.
So, Jamie, I'm not stupid. Maybe your mother's willing to believe all this nonsense that you told her. I'm not. Because if you went to pick up your friend because you wanted to be a good Samaritan and your friend had been drinking and you took her home, then you say, so your mother is saying, you're a very responsible young lady. But a very responsible young lady doesn't say, okay, then I'm going to take you back to the party so we could all party.
I had no intention of letting that happen.
Then you go home. You don't drive back another 10 minutes to take her to a party. Now, when you took her back to the party, what was your intention?
Everyone seemed like they were staying there, so I wasn't needed anymore.
What do you mean you weren't needed anymore? You went to pick her up because she had been drinking too much to drive home. You take her home. She decides to go back to the party to drink some more, so you decide that she doesn't need you anymore, and you were leaving.
My main goal was that nobody drove drunk that night.
Then you shouldn't have taken her back. I'm telling you, madam, your mother may believe this nonsense that you told her. I don't. If your main goal was that nobody should be drunk and driving, then you leave your friend at home, at her home, and you say, I'm going home now. So then you drive her back to the party, along with the other girl, I assume.
Yes.
And then you were leaving.
Yes.
So what happened?
As I was walking out, they stopped me, Corey and Ryan, and wanted to drive my car. I said no, I was tired. I worked in the morning. I wanted to get home, but they insisted that they at least see it. So as they walked me to my car, they kept pressuring me into letting them drive it, and finally I decided it would just be easier to let them. I didn't want them to not like me. I felt kind of peer pressured. And so I let Ryan drive the car, and as I went to get into the passenger seat, Corey then got in first and pulled me onto his lap, and Ryan started driving very fast into these country roads. And they began fishtailing around gravel road corners, doing 93 miles an hour and screaming that the car would only go 93 miles an hour. And while they were doing this, I kept asking them to slow down or stop, and they wouldn't.
And
as we went back into town, the car started making some funny noises, and they told me it was a belt and it would probably just straighten out. And I was worried. I knew that wasn't right, but I was tired and felt really violated, and I just wanted to get home.
Why did you feel violated?
Because while Ryan was totaling my car, Corey continued to try to grope my breasts and to get his hands in my pants, and I kept trying to have to fight him off, and he wouldn't stop.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She kind of started making moves at me and Ryan.
I want you to show me with Ryan. Ryan's next to you. How she rubbed up against you, sir.
Kind of like this, and then, kind of back and forth, and sitting on my lap. She was rubbing my leg and stuff like that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old Jamie Swanson claims former friends Ryan Lutz and Corey Henry damaged her car during a party. Jamie also says Corey sexually assaulted her.
What time did you get back?
It was about 12:31.
Well, let me figure this timeline out. 10:30 you arrived at the party. You picked up your friend and her friend. You drove her home. 10 minutes. Let's say that's 11:15. According to you, you stayed at Anna's house for a half hour. That's 11:15. Then she wanted to go back to the party. You got her back to the party. That's 11:30. Now it's 12:30 or 1 o'clock. I'm missing an hour and a half. What happened in that hour and a half?
There were people there that wanted things from the Quick Trip in the gas station in Iota. So I took a list of what everyone wanted and went down and got it for them. I just made sure nobody drove. That was...
Oh, Jamie, that's such a crock. You made excuses to your mother because the car got totaled. I don't believe that you went there and then you took lists of things of people that wanted, and you went grocery shopping for everybody. I mean, I don't understand that.
I had a friend who was killed by a drunk driver, and ever since then, I don't want anyone driving.
Jamie, if you don't want anyone driving, then you drove your friend Anna home, and you leave her there. You don't take her back to the party.
Can I say something?
No, you weren't there. You believe this story?
I have a letter from someone that saw her.
You believe that, saw her do what?
That saw her at the Quick Trip with the other kids intoxicated.
What does that have to do with it? I believe she went there. I believe she was part of this party. Whether it's because she wanted to be accepted or whether she wanted to be part of the group, she went to the party. And you believe this story that she took her friend back to the party because if she didn't take her back, somebody else would have? You believe that?
I don't think it was a smart thing to do, but I believe her, yeah.
Then you'd be responsible for your own car. Take off the blinders. I'm not finished with you. We haven't even started yet. Who was driving?
I was.
Why?
I just wanted to take the car for a ride.
Why?
Just never drove that kind of car, and I guess we just wanted to go for a ride around the block.
You had been drinking?
Had probably 2 beers.
I don't care what you say you had. If you got there at 7 o'clock?
Yes.
By 10:30 or 11 o'clock, you had more than 2 beers, young man. Now, you decide you want to take the car out for a spin. Is that what you say to her? Can I take your car for a ride?
Yes.
And what did she say?
She gave me the keys, and we all hopped in the car and we went around the block.
No. I want you to take it step by step, Ryan. Let's do a step by step. You had the keys in your hand.
Yes.
You got into the car.
Yes.
What happened next?
And we got in. I got in, started up the car. Corey got in. She got in and got on his lap.
Why did she get on your lap, sir?
I got in, and she wanted to come along, and it's just a 2-seater car, no bench seat.
Oh, it's just a 2-seater?
Yeah, so I'm cramped up.
There's no back seat?
No, it does have it's just bucket seats, but it's got a back seat also, yes.
So she wanted to come along, she didn't want to sit in the back?
I guess.
How much had you been drinking that night?
About probably 3-4 beers.
And what about the plaintiff? Did you see her drink anything?
I did not see her, but I did not get there until 11 o'clock.
Okay. Where were you up until 11 o'clock?
I was working until 9, and then a friend come and pick me up.
All right, well, that's not... You're working until 9. Where were you between 9 and 11?
We stopped in Dover and talked to a couple people, and then we went to another place, and then we arrived out there.
So you went to a couple of parties first?
Yes.
See how I made that simple for you?
Yes.
You know, sometimes young people think that older people, not old people, but older people, they have this lapse and they were just born old. It's really not true. Bird remembers what happens when he was young. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
So she got on your lap?
Yes.
And then what happened?
And then we proceeded to leave, and as we were going out of town, she kind of started making moves at me and Ryan. And
how did she make moves at you and Ryan? Now, I want you to be very careful, because, you know, I'm really good at this. You know.
Started rubbing
keep me
up
here because I'm gorgeous. They keep me here because I'm really good at it.
she started rubbing up against me. And,
How did she do that? You know what I want you to do? I want you to show me with Ryan's nephew, how she rubbed up against you, sir. I want you to show me that.
She was kind of like this, and then kind of, rubbing on my shoulder.
I want to see.
Going like this and rubbing my arm and leg. And
she was rubbing your arm?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Well, she must have had her arm around your arm. Is that right?
Correct.
Show me how she had her arm around.
Kind of like this, and then, kind of back and forth, and sitting on my lap, she was rubbing my leg and stuff like that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And, I said, no, I didn't want nothing to do with it. I didn't know her.
Just a second. Shh, please. Please. You said, I don't want nothing to do with that.
That is correct.
And what did she say to you?
She didn't say nothing.
Did she stop?
Yes, she did.
How fast were you driving?
60, 65, 70 maybe. I don't know. I couldn't see the speedometer.
Fast?
Not out of...
60, 65, and 70. You weren't on a highway, were you?
There was...
You weren't on a highway the entire way, were you?
No, not the entire way.
What happened when you got back to the party?
After we got out, I realized that we were kind of blocking this neighbor's driveway, and I'd mentioned that to Ryan, and he proceeded to get back in the car, and they wouldn't start. And after that, we tried to pop the hood to see if we could see what was going on or try and get started, and we couldn't do that.
So now the car doesn't start. You had the car towed, is that right?
Yes.
Now, at what point, Jamie, did you call the police and tell them that you had been sexually assaulted by Corey?
The next day after it happened.
Can I see the police report, please? What time did you get home that night, Jamie?
It was about 1:30, 2 a.m.
Who took you home?
Anna.
So, Anna, your drunken friend took you home, is that right?
Right.
Who was home?
Nobody was. My neighbor was staying with me.
So nobody's home. Where was your mother?
She went to her husband's house. He had to live in Sioux City, Iowa, because of his visa. He's from Poland.
So instead of staying with your father where you had some supervision, you decided to stay in your own house where you had no supervision. Is that right?
My neighbor was staying with me.
Your neighbor wasn't supervising you, madam. You were out until 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock. What kind of supervision is that?
Not very good.
You were having a party. Now, at what point did you find out that your car wouldn't start, that the engine had blown on your car?
The day after I had it towed, the mechanic looked at it.
You had it towed?
Yes.
The next day?
Yes.
What time?
It was probably about 3 or 4-ish.
When did you find out that the car wouldn't start that day, on the 27th of July? Did you go back there in the morning?
I went back there, yes.
What time in the morning?
What was it? 9.
And at that time, it wouldn't start?
Right.
Right? Okay. And did you call the mechanic?
Yes.
And told the mechanic, please come and tow the car? Or he said to you he would come and tow the car?
It was a different towing service. It was AAA. So they towed the car. The mechanic...
What time?
3 or 4 in the afternoon.
And you waited at the house all that time?
I waited at the car.
At the car?
Yes.
Well, the car was at the house.
Yes.
You waited in the car or at the house?
I waited in the car. I was in the house for a brief moment.
So you were in the house too?
Yes.
Who was in the house?
Ryan and Aaron were there, and Jared was there, and Mike.
What time did you go to the police station?
7-ish.
In the evening?
Yes.
See what I mean? You always get yourself tripped up, honey.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? I'm going to tell you, you're sorry. It's very easy. If you have been sexually assaulted, you don't hang around with the guys who were responsible, at least one of them who was responsible for your being sexually assaulted for a whole day, and then go to the police station in the evening to report it.
I was very, very upset after it happened, and...
Then you go to the police station right away. You don't wait until after you find out that your car's got a blown engine, and then start looking for a story. When the police asked you if you wanted to file charges with regard to the sex assault, what did you tell them?
I told them I didn't know yet. My mom was trying to make an arrangement so that I wouldn't have to deal with any of it because I was really emotional at the time.
No, this is what you told the police. You told the police that you didn't know whether you wanted to file charges or not because your mother had already contacted the 2 suspects' parents, and if they pay for the damage done to the motor, they won't file charges.
She was looking into my best interest so that I wouldn't have to see them again.
You saw them. You spent the day with them the next day.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Corey, what's your last name?
Henry.
Case is dismissed as relates to Corey Henry. Sit down. I don't believe a word of what you say about being sexually assaulted by this young man. But I do believe that you took a car, and I do believe that you drove it recklessly, and I believe that you took it with her permission. So that means that both of you were responsible for what happened to the car. You're responsible and you're responsible. Now let me see the bill for the damage. When you leave a 17-year-old alone, unsupervised, they get into trouble. You understand that?
Yes.
This is a bill for therapy.
She's been in counseling ever since, and I have a letter from her psychiatrist stating that.
It's your bill. Next time you stay home with your daughter. If you paid $2,600 for the car a year and a half ago, I've taken off $600 for the year that she drove the car, year and some months that she drove the car, leaving the value of the car $2,000. I consider both of you responsible. You responsible and you responsible for what happened to the car. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, she's going to pay some and you're going to pay some.
Zamet Smith.
Who's bothering you?
That lady over there.
Raise your hand if you're bothering Bird. Stop it.
Thank you, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Stop it or step out.
There you go.
Who's Miss Zamet?
I am, Your Honor.
And you're Miss Smith?
Yes.
Which one is your son?
Tony's my son. This one right here.
Why don't you two lovely ladies sit down and let these two gentlemen come up here and see what I can do with, for, and to them. What is your first name?
Tony.
How old are you, Tony?
16. I'm 16 also.
You have a name?
Andy.
The reason I asked these two young men to come up here is because their parents don't really know what happened here because they weren't involved. They just relay what their children tell them. Isn't that right?
Correct.
Okay. You purchased an all-terrain vehicle.
Yes, Your Honor.
It was a used one.
Yes.
And you left it in your yard?
Yes.
You came back after being gone for a week or so and you found that it was gone.
Correct.
Somehow they came into possession of your ATV.
That's correct.
And according to you, they damaged it substantially so that it really can't be used, and you want them to pay a substantial amount of money. They're parents.
Yes.
The parents say that the boys really did some creative decorating of your ATV. That's their answer, that they painted it and made it nice. But then somebody stole it from you, and those people that took it from you must be responsible for the damage. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, here we go. When did you purchase this ATV?
On May 16th this year, because I got a job in Lake Arrowhead, and it calls for an all-terrain vehicle.
And from whom did you purchase it?
My father.
And how much did you pay him for it?
$12.50.
You don't have a bill of sale, do you?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it.
This is actually a paper trail from the original owner.
Okay, I'd like to see it. Good. I love when people come prepared. Okay, do you live in a house, sir?
Yes, I live with my mom.
Is that where you brought the ATV?
No, I bought it at my yard where I keep all my equipment.
What
at
yard?
this place right here. I am a groundskeeper at this Buddhist temple. In exchange, I keep my equipment there.
Let me see it.
And this is the front entry of where I drive in, and it's posted private property, no trespassing. These boys are trespassing.
Let me see. Okay, so you left this ATV on the grounds of a Buddhist temple.
Yes.
You work as a groundskeeper?
I keep the grounds up. In exchange, I get to keep my equipment there. I'm an arborist. I keep all my equipment there.
Okay, fine. Good. Now, you got it on the 16th.
Yes.
And you put it there.
Yes.
When did you go looking for it again?
Oh, that week I got a... I didn't get this newspaper article just till recently, but this is where I went. I talked to the U.S. Forestry Department in San Bernardino, California, and there's over 1 million dead trees, and I want to go down there and help them remove the trees.
This is not show and tell.
I'm not saying this is show and tell. This is why I bought the quad.
Put it down, please. I asked you a very simple question, Mr. Vile. Where did you go and when?
I went to San Bernardino, Lake Arrowhead.
And when did you go there?
The week after I purchased the quad. I parked it up there with all my other equipment. I left.
Good. And when did you come back?
Another couple weeks later.
So about 3 weeks went by.
Not 3 weeks, no. I went for a week to see what's going on in Lake Arrowhead so I can assist them with my services. I came back, the quad was gone.
Let me tell you what you wrote, sir, in your complaint. You say you purchased this 1986 Yamaha quad on May 16th, and you parked it on private property on May 18th. Then I went to Big Bear to do some work on the 19th and returned home a few weeks later. That's what you wrote.
That's irrelevant. This is private property.
Don't tell me what's irrelevant. I'll tell you what's relevant. I want you to try to answer my questions as best as you can. The questions that I have, not the things that are on your agenda, which are not relevant as to why you went to work on trees. You purchased it on the 16th. I want to know when you left, and when you left it on the grounds of the temple, and when you returned.
I returned about a week and a half later. And that's why I didn't have enough time to register when I got back.
I know you have your own agenda as far as your testimony, because what you're telling me is not relevant. What's relevant is when you left it there and when you came back and saw it missing. That's what I wanted to know. Did you file a police report?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because it's a small community. I drove around, looked at garages, just waiting for someone to drive in front of me. And I have a lot of eyes around the neighborhood, a lot of kids in the neighborhood. They know I had the quad. They gave me a note on my truck that they seen these boys driving it. And that's when I responded.
What date did you get the note on your truck?
I don't have the date. Well, actually, I do. It's on the police report, because that same day.
Can I see the police report, please?
I don't have the police report.
We have
Can I
a
see
copy
it,
of
please?
the police report. You'll notice that it's found property, not stolen also.
Yes.
You stole the property. Let me explain something to you. Don't make any excuses to me. You stole the property.
It was a mistake.
When you take property that doesn't belong to you, that's stealing.
We didn't think it was, like there was no chain on it, there's no lock,
Listen,
there's
let
no
me
fence.
explain something to you. Let me explain something. I'm going to get to you in 1 second, but I want to tell you something. If you don't want to make this a very sad day in your life, you're not going to make excuses. You took property that didn't belong to you. When I grew up, that was called stealing. A car is not chained to its parking space, right? And if somebody leaves a car in a parking space and just happens to go into a store and leaves the keys in the car, that doesn't mean it's abandoned, that you can take it because it's not chained to the meter. You understand each other?
Yeah, we have.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Let us assume that instead of a quad, all of a sudden your boy shows up and in the driveway is an automobile.
We didn't bring it.
Just a minute. This is my scenario, not yours.
They did not bring it back and put it in the driveway.
Pay attention.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tom Vile says 16-year-olds Tony Zammit and Andrew Smith stole his quad runner. The teens say the vehicle was abandoned at a Buddhist temple.
Okay, so you told the police that you found it abandoned in a hill area behind the Buddhist church on approximately May 23rd. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you wrote it.
Yes. It had no battery, and the ignition was broken, and we had to bump start it, we had to roll it and then start it, and then we parked it about 100 yards away from where it was, and then we came back the next day because the seat was falling off and the wheel, so we tightened the bolts and then we painted the plastics because they were weathered, because it was originally red and it faded to pink and white, and then we went back the next day and it was gone.
Yeah, we're making it kind of like a little project, or like fixing it up. If anything, we made it better. We didn't break anything on it.
You want to say something?
The pictures that we have, Your Honor, show that what it looks like behind, because you could come down out of the hills where the kids ride their bikes, and you're right on to this dirt area, so it doesn't look like it's a contained area.
Doesn't have to be a contained area, madam. Let us assume that instead of a quad, this was a car. Okay?
Okay.
And all of a sudden, your boy shows up, and in the driveway is an automobile. And you say to him, where'd you get that from? He said, well, I was riding my bike up behind the Buddhist temple, and there was this car sitting there, and it wasn't attached to anything. And the starter wasn't working, and the color was faded. We looked around, nobody was there, so we jump-started it, and we brought it home because we want to make a project out of fixing it up.
We didn't bring it.
Just a minute. This is my scenario, not yours. You didn't bring it home, you hid it. You moved it from one location to another. You following my scenario? They brought it back and put it in your driveway, right?
Correct.
Okay. No, they did not bring it back and put it in the driveway.
Pay attention. I said I am making up a scenario for Miss Zammit.
Right.
That the boys found a car in the same area, right here. that the car was faded, its seat was wiggly, you had to use a screwdriver to start it, but they brought it home because the boys wanted to make a project out of fixing up this car. Are you getting me, Miss Zamet?
Yes.
Would the first thing that you do call the police and say, I want to know if this car is registered to anybody?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They didn't do that.
The boys actually have their own off-road vehicles.
I don't care what they have. They didn't do it. If they had called to find out if this car was titled, your sons would have found out that there was a name attached to this ATV. They chose not to do that. They chose to take the ATV and move it from one location to another. That's called larceny. The day you found this vehicle, was that the day you told your mother about it?
No, we told
No. The answer is no. When did you tell your mother about it?
after he came to our house.
Right. When did you tell your mother that you took it and moved it?
When he came to his house, we got a phone call.
Same time.
Right. Where is this ATV now?
It's in my neighbor's yard, just trashed.
It's in your neighbor's yard, just trashed. Okay.
I got a
Yeah,
picture.
just a second. Just a second. Stop getting hysterical. It's an ATV. Don't get hysterical. It's not. You're well. You know. You don't have a life-threatening illness.
That's
Don't
why,
get-
not why I'm
just,
here.
Just a second. Put your hand down. You have to accept responsibility for what you do. Your sons just bought an ATV, and they bought it for what he paid for it, which was $1,250. Not for what he wants for it, which is $2,650.
That's the cost of the repairs, Your Honor.
Listen to me. Buy another one. They just bought this one for $1,250, and they can fix it up to their heart's content. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,250. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just aggravated that their parents didn't take responsibility to correct them.
I think it was an honest mistake. We didn't know that he owned it.
They're not remorseful. It's sickening.
I'll just leave other people's properties alone.
I don't think they got the message loud and clear.
The boys are very clear now that if something's in question, don't touch.
Don't touch.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Robinson versus Hill. Step forward, please.
Legal Secretary Carol Robinson is suing her son, Auto Shop District Manager Joseph Hill, for a series of unpaid loans. Joseph says the money was a gift.
Miss Robinson, Mr. Hill is your son.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that while separated from his wife, he accrued a series of loans from you to pay his bills, other expenses, including child support. Your son says that there was never an agreement that the money that you did, in fact, advance him to pay his bills was a loan, that you agreed to help him out, and that you're only angry because he went back to his wife. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
28.
How many years have you been married?
A little over 3 years.
You have children?
Yes, ma'am. One son.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a district manager for an auto mechanic shop
And how long have you been doing that?
for about 3 years.
Now, I want you to tell me about what happened after you and your wife separated.
Well, when we separated, we were both working. We were both working, so there were a little more bills than my income could pay for. My mother was there to help me out.
Specifically, I want you to tell me what you did. You separated from your wife. Where did you go?
I stayed in the family home. My wife left.
And when did she leave? What month, what year?
May of this year.
Where did she go?
She went to her grandparents' house.
With your child,
Yes, ma'am.
leaving you in the house. Now, is this a rental house or is this
It's
something?
a rental house, yes, ma'am.
And what's the rent?
$850 a month.
And how much were you earning at the time, sir?
I earn about $1,440 every 2 weeks is my gross income.
Now, tell me about this conversation that you had with your mother when she started to help you.
She agreed that she would help me to where I
No, tell me about the conversation. Now, I'll decide whether she agreed to help you. Okay, tell me about the conversation.
Well, it come to the point where we were discussing the finances at my house. She had told me that she would help me to take care of my bills, to bring my bills to her, bring her my paychecks every 2 weeks, and she would pay my bills. She did make a loan to me at one point in time for an attorney, which has already been settled and taken care of between me and her.
How much was that?
$2,500.
Is that right?
That is correct.
And he paid you back?
Not yet.
We have a settlement agreement to pay that back.
Settlement agreement from where?
That she wrote up and I signed that I would pay it back over the course of the next however many months at $100 a month.
When did you do that?
Roughly about 3 weeks ago.
Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. Oh, so she had sued you for this.
Yes, ma'am.
But your lawyer was only $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? So why did you agree to pay her on $4,425?
There was past issues of finances where she had loaned me money to pay off a probation officer that I also agree that I do owe her.
How much was the probation officer?
$1,900.
Okay. Now tell me about this other money that she says she laid out for you for other bills, and it's clear, you agree, Miss Robinson, am I correct, that he was turning over his paycheck to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were paying the bills?
Yes, ma'am.
You were paying his rent?
Yes, ma'am.
You were paying child support?
Yes, ma'am.
How much child support?
I believe there were 3 payments that I made in the amount of $280 plus a $5 charge for the cashier's check. And there were past due bills that were his and his wife's.
What about the $1,440 he gave you biweekly? What'd you do with that?
It was not $1,440. His net pay is $1,023.07 every other week.
Is that right?
That's roughly.
Okay, so that's $2,000 a month. That's plenty of money to pay his rent. Plenty of money to pay the last 2 payments of child support. Where's that money?
The cell phone bill was quite large every month.
Well, tell me what the cell phone bill was.
There were 3 months that I paid, $419.15.
Just a second. What was one cell phone for? $400 a month?
I'm a district manager. I have 10 stores that I have to stay in touch with on a regular basis throughout the day.
Well, then your company pays for that.
They reimburse a small portion.
Then you take care of that. Then you give that back to your mom. We're paying legitimate expenses for which you do not get reimbursed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you took his paycheck, and you took his paycheck since June?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? Did you tell him each month when he went over what he had given you?
Yes, ma'am. I showed him the check register and how low my funds, my own personal funds, were getting. And he says, "Don't worry, Mom." He says, "I'll pay it all back."
He already owed you $4,400, Miss Robinson. Some of it he owed you for more than a year. How could you legitimately believe that your son was going to pay you back for all this stuff when he hadn't even paid you back money that he owed you for a year and a half? How did you legitimately believe? I'm asking your legitimate expectation that your son was going to have more money to pay you back when he hadn't fulfilled what you claim, and in a settlement, you say were obligations that existed almost 2 years. Come on, let's be real. When did you stop giving your mother your salary check?
Beginning to mid-July.
So that's June and half of July. That's a month and a half, and it is your claim, madam, I'm just curious, it's your claim that in the month and a half you laid out for him, for which you were not reimbursed by his salary checks, $4,313.50. Is that right?
That is correct.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, and I don't believe that you had a legitimate expectation in that month and a half that he was going to be able to pay you back if, in fact, you laid that out for him. I don't believe that. I believe that you said, "I'll help you out, I'll pay your bills, give me your salary, I'll try to act as your accountant and make sure that all of these bills are paid and in some organized fashion." Was it your wife who was responsible for paying the bills in your house, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't know how to do that?
Not very good with money.
No, okay. So you gave, instead of giving your wife the money, you gave your mother the money?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you shouldn't have done it, Miss Robinson. He's your son. That's what you're supposed to do. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Ms. Holgeier, you and the defendant had a relationship and lived together, according to what I read, for a few months.
Yes.
You became pregnant, had a fight, and you were escorted away by the police. It is your claim that the defendant kept some of your property.
Yes, ma'am.
And you also think that he emotionally disturbed you.
Yes.
You're suing him for money because you were saddened by the fact that you had this baby and he's not sure if it's his and hasn't had any contact with the baby, so you're sad. I don't know if you get money for that, but we'll find out. Mr. Palazzola says that sometime prior to this major fight, when you finally were escorted out by the police, you had destroyed his favorite magazine collection by pouring something on it. Is that right?
She spray painted them and threw them away.
And that since he's remarried, you have embarked on a campaign of harassment for which he wants to be reimbursed. His harassment, he only wants $400 for, so it couldn't be that terrible. Okay, when did you live together? Start and finish.
He signed the lease on, I believe it was May 24th, and I moved out on the 28th of August of 2002.
When did you move in with him? Was that on the 24th of May?
No, I moved in with him about 3 weeks prior to that, at his mother's house.
So the beginning of May?
Yes, ma'am.
August 28th is when the police escorted you out?
Yes.
Okay. What items do you claim you left behind when you were escorted out by the police?
I have a list. Do you want a list?
Is it a very long list?
No, it's not very long.
And this is August 28th of 2002?
Yes.
What took you so long to get to court?
Being a single parent is pretty difficult.
We're talking a year later, madam. What took you so long to get to court?
Well, it took me a while to get all of my things in order.
Look, just show this to the defendant, please. All right, now I've seen what kind of items you're talking about. I'll take the list back, Bert. We're talking about 2 oven mitts, a colander for spaghetti. We're talking about a cutlery tray, a blue-green tumbler, a toilet bowl brush, 4 ice cube trays, 2 plates, 2 bowls, 2 washcloths. So let's get to what happened on the 28th of August when you were escorted out.
I found out I was pregnant, and everything just started going downhill after that in the relationship. And he was working major hours at work, working. And one night I asked him if he was cheating on me, and he was like, "You're crazy." And that was the night prior to the 28th. And we got in a big fight that night. The next day, we were fighting all day. Later that night, he was picking me up to throw me out of our apartment when I was 2.5 months pregnant. And
Did you scratch him first?
No, I scratched him to put me down when he was literally picking me up to throw me out of our apartment. And then I went to the store with our roommate, and he called the police, and when we got back, the police were there and they arrested me.
They arrested you because they saw evidence that you had assaulted him?
That I scratched him, yes. But I also had a bruise on my leg, but they told me that I could talk to the judge about that.
Did you plead guilty to assaulting him?
I pled not guilty, but then whenever I went for my actual court date, they told me that I would get a lesser sentence if I was to plead guilty. So yes, I pled guilty in the end.
When you were escorted out by the police, did you have an opportunity to get your clothes?
No.
When did you come back for your clothes?
I never did because he had gotten a restraining order. So my father and my brother went over there to get my things, and he had already packed them up. And I had a list for him, and they asked him about the other things, and he said that he got rid of them.
This is not a lot of stuff, madam.
It's not a lot of stuff.
This is nonsense stuff. It's ridiculous. Did he ever sue you for the assault?
No.
Call it even. Now let's get to the counterclaim.
Okay.
And let's get there fast.
To start, Your Honor, we had to move out of my mother's house because she made it so difficult. She couldn't keep a job. So therefore, all these items that she's bought pretty much came out of my wallet. Others.
I already took care of that.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about your counterclaim.
Okay.
Pay attention. We're over that.
The night before the police came out, she wanted to fight, and she wanted to do it in front of my roommate, which is out in the living room. That is when I picked her up. There was no picking up the day after. I picked her up, carried her into the room so we could talk because she likes to have a show, and she likes to fight in front of people. She can't do it between me and her. So the next day, me and my roommate, we went out, came back. I looked out on the window ledge. A magazine of mine was spray painted. And I asked her, you know, where is everything? And she told me she spray painted them, threw them away. At this point, I was a little upset. The police were called out. They were called out 3 times that day. First 2 times, they
What day are you talking about,
The 27th of August.
Of August, so the day before.
No, I'm sorry, it was the 28th.
What day did you spray paint his magazines?
I didn't spray paint his
What'd you do to the magazine?
I spray painted one magazine.
And what'd you do with it?
It was on the windowsill.
When? What date?
On the 28th.
Go ahead.
So they had to come out 3 times. The second time is when she really abused me. I had scratches all over my back that turned into a couple of scars. The third time they came out, a female officer came. She seen the scratches. She agreed to arrest her for domestic violence. Now, at this case, all I wanted her to do is just to leave. So that's why I didn't press charges. The state of Michigan is the one that pressed charges on her and put the restraining order.
I want to know what your counterclaim is about.
The due harassment, she found out that I had a girlfriend, and that's when all heck broke loose. She wrote a letter to my corporation.
Did you file? To your corporation?
Yes.
Let me see what she wrote to your corporation.
This was a couple of months after the court case happened. I also...
Shh. You wrote a letter to the defendant's employer he has an employee living with him, an employee that works in the same store, and you are sure that that's against company policy. You give the employee's name. And then you say that he also has a mother and brother working for him. And I'm not sure that this is company policy or not, but it seems to me that this is unfair treatment to other employees and more favored towards those particular family members. And then you name them. Why in the world would you send this kind of a letter?
That's what I put in there. I didn't say anything
Why
about...
in the world would you send this letter?
I don't know. I guess out of vengeance. I don't know.
There was no reason for you to write this letter except to harass him. Is that right?
I wasn't harassing him.
Of course you were. Well, who were you harassing? The corporation?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Well, if it is mine, I'm going to fight for custody.
Right now, instead of fighting for custody, why don't you fight to find out if this is your child?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Emily Allgaier says ex-boyfriend Ken Palazzolo owes for the return of her belongings. Ken is countersuing, claiming Emily destroyed his magazine collection and slandered him at work.
What else?
I also had the police reports from for damaging my property.
I'm not interested in your magazine stuff.
She wasn't able to contact me, and she called me many times. And as soon as she found out that I was married is when all this took place.
Has she ever taken you to court to establish paternity of this child?
No, the front of the court's really slow. I just have to wait to be contacted by them.
So you did file a lawsuit?
Yes, ma'am. Well, just for child support, yes.
Well, paternity, because he says he wants, I assume you want a blood test.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you file that lawsuit?
In the beginning of May of 2003.
In any event, I'm dismissing your claim because you have no case against him for this property. I do find, however, that this letter was sent maliciously and for no reason. You can't do that. You can't conduct business that way, young lady. I mean, the two of you were foolish enough, after knowing each other for a few months and having a tumultuous relationship, you were foolish enough to get pregnant and have a child. That was pretty stupid, right?
Yes.
Now, you understand that if this is your child, is there a strong possibility that that's true?
I honestly, since then, finding out she slept with two men while we were together while I was away on business at the time when the baby was conceived.
So you're not sure?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
That's what he heard from someone else, so...
Listen, truth of the matter is, you don't have to wait for the courts to go for a blood test. I assume that you want to know whether this is your child or not. Is that right?
The front of the court...
I assume that you want to know whether this is your child or not. Is that right?
Yes.
Because if this is your child, times are wasted. You don't want to not have a relationship with your daughter, do you?
No.
So then why don't you make arrangements between the two of you to go and have a blood test?
Contacted the front of the court, and they said it was cheaper to go through them. So
cheaper for who? Cheaper for your daughter?
Cheaper for me.
Cheaper for him, but all the while he's missing out on his daughter's life.
If it is not mine, then I do not care.
But the point is, if it is your child, you don't want another year to go by without her knowing you.
No, but she, also, if it is mine, I'm going to fight for custody because she...
You right now want, instead of fighting for custody, why don't you fight to find out if this is your child? So the difference is $400?
Yes.
And what's the name of the blood service there?
They sent it to Washington. I didn't bring that information with me.
Well, you're going to get the name of the lab because I think that you really want to know, don't you, whether this is your child or not?
Yes.
And that the sooner that happens, the better off you are. Is that right?
Yes.
So what we're going to do is, I'm awarding you $400 on your counterclaim, sir, because I believe that she did, in fact, harass you. But the check's going to be made payable to the blood bank. So the two of you and this little baby can go and have blood tested and find out whether or not this is your child. Does that sound reasonable to you?
Yes, ma'am.
That way you can find out. You got it?
I don't need to find out. He does.
No. You need to find out. When you have a child out of wedlock, stupidly, you're living at his mother's house. Did you get thrown out of his mother's house?
No, we didn't. It was my choice to move out.
And what about your house with your parents? Did you get thrown out of there initially?
Technically, not technically.
Not technically. And how old are you?
I'm 18.
And then when I read your complaint, you said he told you he wanted his life complete with a baby, so you got pregnant. This was not an accident.
No, it was not an accident.
Right. This was not an accident. This was on purpose. Somebody who's 17 years old who has no job, who has no future.
I had a job. Yes, I had a
Didn't
job.
last long because, according to what I read, your job didn't last long because his mother said you shouldn't work so hard, so you quit your job.
Well, that was my second job.
Do you understand?
Yes, but
I believe it's more important for you to find out, for him to find out, whether this is his child than for you to get any money. Either of you. I don't understand why you would come in and sue over two potholders Well, you would come in and sue him over a spoon, a ladle, a green and blue dish. And you sue her over this letter, which clearly didn't damage your job, right?
Well, it did, because I had to take a couple of days off.
I sympathize with you, sir. Listen to me. If, in fact, this is your child, the fact that you have turned away and said, it's not my responsibility, is very unkind to both her and this little girl. So it seems to me a stand-up fellow would say, if this is my child, I want to know. And I want to know now. Not 6 months from now, not 8 months from now, and then have the audacity to say, if it's mine, I'm going to fight for custody, whenever. But by that time, your daughter's 2 years old. She doesn't even know who you are.
Well, in defense of myself, the state did have a restraining order, so I was not able to contact the mother of the baby.
Well, you don't have to contact her. Go to court and file a lawsuit. They'll order a blood test.
Could I please? My mother did send him a certified letter letting him know that I did have the baby.
What difference does it make? If he says he's not sure that the baby is his, what difference does it make?
I don't know, but
he wants to know. Instead of money for your harassment, he's going to take a test, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Yeah, I had a very, very good collection.
his porno magazines.
I know she's, so
He hasn't seen his child and she's 5 months old.
I don't think it's mine.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Flores versus Etty, step forward, please.
Business owner Wanda Flores is suing the father of her daughter's boyfriend, environmental technician Don Etty, for the value of a car. Wanda claims Don traded in her daughter's vehicle without her permission.
Miss Flores, is this your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your son?
Yes, it is.
Miss Flores, your daughter and the defendant's son have a child together.
Yes.
Your daughter is
17.
And your son is
18.
And how old is the child?
4 months.
So they were both underage when this child was conceived.
Yes.
In December of 2002, you claim that you gave your daughter an old car. In January of 2003, Mr. Etty took your daughter, I assume his son, down to a car dealership. Your daughter signed over the title. Mr. Etty purchased a newer car, right?
Yes.
He purchased it in his name, but with the understanding that the kids would be driving it and that your daughter and you would make the payments on the car.
Yes.
Then something happened and his son went to jail. And you claim that despite the fact that you and or your daughter were making payments on the car, Mr. Etty took the car back because it was in his name. And he says it got repossessed by the bank. So far, you following this, this Gone with the Wind?
I got it.
So what you want is the value of the car that you gave your daughter in December of 2002.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Etty tells a whole different story, which I'm going to let him get to. When you gave your daughter this car in 2002 in December, what date in December was it?
It was like a week before Christmas.
And where did you get the car from?
I've had it for years.
Was it running?
Yes. We just put a new front end on it. We really did a lot of work to it.
Did you have a conversation with Mr. Etty about trading in this car?
No, I didn't.
Did you give your daughter the title to the car?
No, I went, as soon as they got the car, they called me and asked me if I'd come and sign the title over.
Now I understand. So you gave them a gift, but there was an understanding with Mr. Etty that they were going to use that car as a trade-in.
Yes.
Okay. Now what was the agreement as far as payment?
The car was supposed to be put in their name. I know right now they couldn't put it in their name
That's
because
right.
they're teenagers.
Correct.
But William turns 18 in August.
At the time, they couldn't put the car in their name.
Yeah.
And they probably wouldn't give him a loan anyway.
Exactly.
So he put it in his name.
Yes.
What was the arrangement as far as payment was my question.
I was going to pay the payments with Michelle, and the car was supposed to be after they got old enough to put it back in their name.
Right. January, February, when was the car repossessed?
I don't know.
What month, Mr. Etty?
It was last month.
Why?
Because of default on payment.
How many payments were missed?
One.
Which payment?
April's
April.
payment, yes. Your Honor, was due on the 8th of every month.
And there was no payment made in April?
No.
And that's why you took the car back?
Yes, ma'am.
So you would agree that if she can prove to me that she made April's payment, you're in trouble, right?
Yes.
Show me.
I don't have any proof. I really don't.
So what am I supposed to do?
I think they deserve a car for their new baby.
Well, Miss Flores, That's nice. There used to be a program, called The Millionaire. You wait for John Bears for Tipton to come knock at your door and give you $1 million, and then you go and buy whatever you like. You had an agreement. You had an agreement with Mr. Eddy. Your agreement was that you would make the payments on this loan every month. He says that he repossessed the car because you did not make April's payment that was due April 8th, and he repossessed the car in May. And then it got repossessed by the bank because he couldn't make the payments either. My question to you is very simple. Show me you made April's payment, and then you have a case. You tell me, I can't. And I say, so what do you want from me? And you say, I think they deserve to have a car. So maybe you can convince Bird to buy him a car.
Your Honor.
If you breached your contract with Mr. Eddy, you're not
I didn't have no contract with him.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You just testified under oath that you did. You don't understand, Ms. Flores. You testified under oath that you had a contract, a verbal contract with him, that you would make the payments on this car.
No, I had a verbal contract with my daughter.
You can't.
Why?
She's 17. She can't make a contract. Only he can make a contract. And you testified that you had a contract. The contract was with him, that the payments would be made, and April's payment wasn't made. He had an absolute right to take back the car. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step on the calendar in the matter of Norrie versus Hathaway. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
All right, Miss Norrie, you owned a car.
Yes, I did.
Do you still own it?
No, I don't.
You allowed your boyfriend to drive the car.
Yes, I did.
Your boyfriend's name is Shane.
Yes.
According to what I've read here. And this would be Shane.
Yes, Your Honor.
Shane and the defendant went for a ride. The defendant somehow, after Shane went to sleep or whatever, went to a party and he wasn't in the shape to go home, the defendant decided to take the car, according to you, without Shane's permission and drive home.
Yes, Your Honor.
He wrecked the car.
Yes, he did.
And you want him to pay for the car.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Hathaway says, it's not my fault.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Mr. Hathaway is going to explain, not only to me, but he is going to explain to Officer Petrie Hawkins-Bird how someone who was the sole driver of a car, who wrecked it, can establish to our satisfaction that it was somebody else's fault.
Okay.
Okay? Is that fair?
That's fair, Your Honor.
Very good. Step up here, Shane. Now, you borrowed the plaintiff's car when?
January 16th.
And what did you borrow the car for?
To go to Bridgewater State College. We went up there to visit a friend.
Did you have a driver's license?
Yes, I do.
Did you?
Oh, did
On
I?
January 16th, 2003, have a driver's license?
No, I didn't.
How did you expect to drive her car without a driver's license, Shane?
Ben was driving the car there to the college. And then...
When you borrowed the car from your girlfriend, did you tell her that Mr. Hathaway was going to be driving the car?
No, I did not tell her that.
Were you going to be back that evening?
No, the next morning.
Who did you tell her was going to be driving the car?
Actually, I didn't tell her anything. She just knew Ben was going to be driving the car.
Is that right?
Yes, I knew he didn't have a license.
So you knew that Ben was going to be the driver?
Yes, I did.
All interesting things that they left out of the complaint, by the way. So you gave permission for Ben to drive your car with Shane as the passenger?
Yes, I did.
So what happened, Shane?
Well, we both went to Bridgewater State College that night. We went to a party. We were drinking and stuff like that. And he asked me, he goes, can I use your car? And I said, no way. And then he took my keys and he took off with my car, and I ran out to get him, but he took off right in front of me in the parking lot. And then I waited in the parking lot thinking he was joking around. But 20 minutes later, he never came back.
Where did he say he wanted to go with the car?
To go pick up my friend Rob.
I mean, you asked that with a question in your voice.
To pick up my friend Rob.
This is not sounding true to me, Shane.
He said he wanted...
Bird, you see Bird is shaking his head?
Yeah.
You see Bird is shaking his head? We together are like a truth machine. Okay. You know what happens when somebody is piddling on my leg? The hairs on the back of my neck start to stand up. So I can always tell when someone is making it up as they're going.
Okay.
Because the hair on the back of my neck goes up, and I'm watching the hair on the back of his neck.
All right.
Do you understand, Shane? So we're going to start again.
Okay.
You're at a party.
Yes.
Doing some drinking.
Yes.
And
And we come back to the dorm room where we were going to sleep at.
And you fell asleep?
No, I didn't fall asleep.
Did you get into bed?
No.
Did you fall into bed?
No.
You were standing at the window?
No, we were in the room just talking and stuff like that. Okay? And then he took my keys, and he started going down the stairs. He said he was going to leave, and I chased him, and he went inside my car. And then I was like, Ben, get out of my car, get out of my car. And he took off right in front of me.
So what was going to pick up a friend, Rob?
He promised my friend Rob, who lives in Providence College, I don't know, an hour away or something like that. He promised he was going to go get him that night because he talked to him.
But he didn't say anything to you about going to pick up Rob
Yes,
when he
he
took
did.
the keys?
He said, I want to go pick up Rob, and I said, no.
Let's have it.
All right. Well, Your Honor, I was asked to drive the car.
Did that. You remember when Jack Nicholson did that? I loved when he did that.
All right. Eye contact. Well, I was asked to drive the car, so we went up there like was said before. The plan was for us to come home that night. So we went out, we went to a party, and when it was time to go home, that wasn't the case anymore. He didn't want to go home, and then I started arguing with him saying, you know, I was the one who drove up here, and right now I'm the one who's driving the car, and you promised me I could go home, therefore
I'm going home.
I want to go home. And when that didn't come to an agreement, I said, you know what, I am going home. And I jumped in the car, and he said, come on, man, I don't want to leave. Let's stay here. It's the better thing to do. It's late. I said, no, I want to go home. And so I jumped in the car.
Had you been drinking, Mr. Hathaway?
I had been drinking earlier that night, and by the time it was time to go, I felt that I was sober enough to drive the car home.
Not sober enough, evidently, Mr. Hathaway. Because what happened on the way home, sir?
Well, that's also because, Your Honor, not only was it late at night, but as you can see, it was in January, and snow was covering on the ground, and therefore I made it slippery while driving. And
whose fault is that? God's fault? The weatherman's fault?
I guess so, Your Honor.
Yes. Why don't you tell me how the accident happened, Mr. Hathaway?
Well, I was driving along, and I was coming home down Route 1. Sorry, eye contact. All right, I was coming down Route 1, and I was on the side of the road, and I just hit an ice patch, black ice, whatever it may have been, and slid off into the guardrail, and the car crashed. I got it to drive a little bit farther down the road so I could make it to somewhere where I could stop and park, and then I called my mother, and she came and picked me up at the location that I was at.
Maybe that's why he wanted to stay over, because you both had a little something to drink. The weather was bad, it was snowy, it was slippery, it was icy. So that was better judgment, right, Mr. Hathaway?
Well, that was his judgment, but the judgment...
Evidently better judgment because you wrecked the car.
Yeah, but I don't believe that was the reason for the wrecking
Well,
of the
then
car.
tell me what you think the reason was, sir. You just told me it was January and it was slippery and sliding
and
outside.
that's what I'm saying. There was ice on the ground, and that's what caused the crash. It had nothing to do with me being drunk or anything like that.
You love it, huh? What? You love it?
Too much.
Mr. Hathaway, do you know why Officer Petrie Hawkins-Byrd is laughing? And he usually doesn't do that. He usually doesn't have as good a time as he's having right now. He's laughing because you sound like a fool.
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You thought that your judgment was sufficiently intact to make the drive home.
Exactly.
The proof of the pudding, sir, is in the tasting. You totaled her car.
And later today,
I agreed to pay off her car for a Christmas present.
If you went and sold the car afterwards, what kind of Christmas present was that?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melissa Norrie claims her boyfriend's former friend, Ben Hathaway, stole her car and wrecked it. Ben claims Melissa loaned him the car.
Now, what kind of car was this, Miss Norrie?
It was a Saab, 1992.
And it was totaled?
Yes, it was. I have the paper stating it was totaled, and I have how much it's worth, and I also have the pictures.
Pictures?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what the Blue Book value of the car is. 4-cylinder?
Yes.
4-cylinder is worth $1,750. Your car had 300,000 miles on it.
Yes, or 280 something.
All right. Mr. Hathaway,
Yes, Your Honor.
you exercised poor judgment, sir. You drove the car, you had an accident. You had an accident. You had been drinking. You were told by the person who really had borrowed the car, even though you were driving, that they didn't want you to drive home. So at that point, you shouldn't have driven home. You did drive home. You had an accident. It's your fault. You have to compensate the plaintiff for that. Do you understand?
Somewhat, Your Honor. I just don't get that there was an agreement to drive home, and you're already saying that I was under the influence, and I had said
I didn't say you were under the influence, sir. I said that you had been drinking earlier that evening.
Exactly.
And you said that by the time you were ready to go home, you thought
Correct.
that your judgment was sufficiently intact to make the drive home.
Exactly.
The proof of the pudding, sir, is in the tasting. You totaled her car. Who's responsible? Her?
I guess no. I don't know.
I
Nobody.
guess not. No, not nobody. Not nobody. Somebody is responsible. And since you were the one who was driving, and you were the one who elected to drive in bad weather on an evening when you had been partying, you are responsible. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He apologized a few times, and he said that he was going to go through his insurance company and he was going to pay us right away.
It was tough to do that, and I apologized, and I wanted to take care of it in the best way I could.
It's not something you should do to your friend, really. You know what I mean? I told him not to take it, and he took it.
It was kind of tough, but I mean, it's hard to, to lose a friend after that long of a time.
I think he got what he deserved.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Weber versus Lamont. Step forward, please.
Contractor Jason Weber is suing his ex-girlfriend, Kathleen Lamont, for an unpaid loan for a truck.
Mr. Weber, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time. I think I read something about 3 years. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
According to your complaint, when you broke up, which was recently, when was that?
It was in March of '03.
The defendant took with her a truck that is both titled and registered in her name. You claim purchased by you. The loan for the truck is in your name, and you want the money back.
Right.
Ms. Lamont says that this was not a loan. Ms. Lamont says this was a gift from you to her. You were living together. She came into the relationship with another car, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You sold that car, got her another car, then sold that car, and then bought this truck, and there was never any talk about payment by her. You're only seeking payment now because you're no longer together. That's your defense.
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
right? So I'd like you to tell me first who these people are. Who is this person?
This is my sister.
She a witness for you?
Yes.
A witness who will say what?
That Kathy stated to her that I was getting a loan for her for the truck.
And who are these people?
My son and my boyfriend, Scott.
Do they have any information with regard to this case, or are they just here for moral support?
It depends on how it goes, actually. My son has been present during most everything that's happened.
I'm not interested in most everything. I'm only interested in the truck. I have a very limited focus.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Weber. When the defendant and you first began to live together, what kind of a car did she have?
She had a '97 Dodge Stratus.
And what happened to that car?
At her request, I sold it.
To whom?
A friend of mine.
And how much did you get for it?
$3,500.
And what did you do with the $3,500?
Well, he's still paying me for it. I agreed to let him give me monthly payments on it.
And then what did she use for transportation, Mr. Weber?
She was driving my car, which was a '94 Ford Probe GT.
And what happened to that car?
At her request, I sold that one also.
Okay, well, that was your car to sell.
Right.
And then what was she driving?
We purchased a '99 Toyota Tacoma 4x4 pickup.
When you say we purchased, what does that mean?
I financed it, and she agreed to pay the payment. As you'll see, I took the $4,000 right off the top of the money that was owed on the truck, on top of the payments that she made on the truck.
Explain that to me.
I agreed to give her or pay off her car for a Christmas present, which was $4,000.
Pay off her car. Which car?
The '97 Dodge Stratus. I paid
You mean
for the
when
Dodge
you
Stratus.
sold that to your friend, she had money owing on that?
No. Yes, she had money owing on it, but I had paid it off. So it was free and clear when I sold it.
How much did she owe on it?
$4,000.
Is that right?
Yes, and he paid it off for my Christmas present that year.
Is that what you did?
Yes.
Okay. Then you went and sold the car.
Yeah. She didn't want it. She wanted the 94
But then
Ford Probe.
listen to me. If you went and sold the car afterwards, what kind of Christmas present was that?
A bad one. She got another car to replace it.
No, you said you gave her your car to drive.
I did.
You didn't give her another car. The other car, I assume, was in your name.
She got her $4,000 back with the 97 or 99 Toyota truck.
Mr. Weber, either you make a present or you don't, sir. If you say you made her a Christmas present in 2002, when you buy the truck, you don't make her another present.
Right.
By deducting it. You made her a present. It was a gift. Goodbye. It's over. And what I don't understand is if you're a couple living together, I don't understand you saying, well, I'm going to buy a truck.
Mm-hmm.
Because you say, we purchased a truck. What were you driving at the time?
I had a pickup of my own.
Okay. So you bought this 1999 pickup. How many years ago?
It was last year.
Give me the date.
It was October of '02.
And in October of 2002, what were you doing for a living?
Me? I was working at a Chevron as a cashier and going to school full-time.
And what kind of work were you doing?
I'm a contractor.
Now, from October 2002 until when you broke up, which is in what month?
March '03.
Who made the payments for the truck?
She did.
Is that right?
I made 5 payments on the truck, yes, from November to March.
Well, then that sounds to me as if there may have been an agreement for you to make the payments on the truck, Miss Lamont.
I agreed to help him out financially because he said he was having some problems, and I was only going to work until I was losing my job after March because I was starting an internship for school. So
There
we
were a
knew
lot of
I was
other
only...
ways, Miss Lamont, that you could have helped him out financially. Making the truck payment was not...
It wasn't a truck payment. It was a personal loan payment that he had. I have the title to the truck. I never knew there was going to be a loan on the truck in the first place. There wasn't supposed to be one.
Miss Lamont, how much were you paying towards this loan each month?
I paid $200 a month from November to March until I didn't have a job anymore.
Payment?
$200.
Then you knew there was a loan payment. Mr. Weber, how much is owed on the truck?
$5,100.
Now, problem is she hasn't made any payments. Is that correct?
Correct.
Since when?
Since March was her last payment.
Have you made the payments?
Yes, I have.
In what amount?
$200 a month.
April, May, June. $600?
Correct.
You owe him, at this point, $600. As a matter of fact, we're close enough to the time where you're going to owe him $800. But you are not entitled, pursuant to your contract with the defendant, to get an upfront amount of $5,100. You understand that?
No.
You didn't have an agreement for her to pay you $5,100. You had an agreement for her to pay you the loan. And there was not an acceleration clause that said that if she failed to make 1 or 2 payments, then the entire sum would be due and owing. Unless you have that agreement, I'll be more than happy to look at it.
That's all I'm asking for is for her to pay the payment.
Well, she's going to have to make the payments. Right now, she owes you what you've paid, which is $800.
That works for me.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $800. Thank you very much.
Parties
Madam,
excused.
I strongly urge you to get this loan in your own name, or perhaps your current boyfriend can help you out with a loan. Thank you. Because he's going to bring you back to court every few months for money. You got it?
Yeah, this is case number 162 on the calendar in the matter of Powell versus Ruth Hoops. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir.
Miss Powell, Mr. Root is your brother.
Yes.
And the co-defendant is his girlfriend. You have a lot of pieces to your complaint. The thrust of your complaint is your mother is currently incarcerated, and she's doing a prison term as a result of a conviction for embezzlement. It is your claim that at some point prior to her being incarcerated, your brother and his girlfriend called you and prevailed upon you to put up bail for your mother.
It was actually my brother and my sister, not his girlfriend.
So your brother called, or your sister, and asked you to assist in putting up bail money. It would be split 3 ways. You put up the bail money. Your brother hasn't paid you back.
No.
And how much was his share of the bail money?
The total bail was $4,800. Between 3 people is $1,600 apiece. My husband and I were actually on our honeymoon in the Bahamas. When we had gotten the call. So.
All right, let's deal with the bail first. Then we'll get on to the other things. All right, Mr. Root.
Yes.
Since your girlfriend has, does she have anything to do with this case?
The only thing she really has to do is the fact that the stuff was stored at my mom's house, and that's where she lives, so that's
At my
where I
house.
involved her in it.
The stuff was
Sit
stored in my
down.
house.
Ms. Hoops, you're not necessary to this case. Case against you is dismissed. $1,600 for the bail money. Did you ask your sister to post bail money?
I did not. It was the bail bondsman who actually had called her, was in contact with her. I didn't even know
Just a
the number
second.
of where she was at.
You never agreed?
Oh, no, she says I agreed, but no, I never ever agreed to it. I told her that was actually me and my little sister. At first, we were trying to acquire a loan to pursue of getting the bail money to get her out. Then all of a sudden, Tammy was gotten in contact with, and yes.
So you and your sister were trying to get a loan
Yes.
to get the money together.
Yes, because Tammy was
Because Tammy was on her...
honeymoon.
Right. And at the time, Tammy didn't know that your mother needed to get out of,
Of jail, yes.
but you did.
Yes, of course.
And your sister did.
Hmm.
Now, did you go to a bail bondsman?
No, we did not. I was called by a bail bondsman at work.
But somebody was contacted by a bail bondsman.
Yes.
And this bail bondsman, was he at your sister's wedding?
No.
So he had to have some form of telepathy to figure out how to get in touch with her.
I don't know how. Maybe it was my mother's attorney or my mother. I really don't have any clue on. I didn't know
Now,
where
when
she was
you
at or
went
staying
to
or
get
phone
the
number.
money to take out this loan, you were successful or not successful?
We tried to do it over the phone, actually, with a company. I not have the best credit, so no, they said no way. And Nicole, my little sister, does not have any credit whatsoever. It's mainly on her husband. So we were denied.
What kind of work do you do?
Construction.
Are you regularly employed?
Yeah.
So, construction people in construction make good money.
Depends on who you work for. A lot of people don't pay you what you actually deserve or what the work that you do for.
Well, do you get what you deserve?
I have just now started
I
currently in the last
guarantee
2
you
weeks.
you're going to get what you deserve today.
Okay. I bet I will.
You will.
All right.
Who called you, Miss Powell? And make sure you tell me, who called?
I had messages. I was actually not in my room. When I came home, the light was blinking. I had messages from a bail bonds, I had messages from my sister, and I had messages from my brother.
What did your little sister say to you, Miss Powell?
That Jason was trying to get a loan using her credit and his income because she didn't work at the time.
Tell me about the conversation you had with Jason.
I said, okay, I would put it on my credit card and get it taken care of because if we didn't, it would go into the week and she'd be there all weekend. I didn't want that to happen. I talked with my brother after he had picked my mom up on the phone at her house, and he explained to me that how this is a time that all our family, our siblings should come together. It's not fair for you to burden the cost of everything. We will all split it with you. This is a time that we should be closer as a family, and now's the time, is what I was told.
I did say the closer part.
What?
I did say the closer part, yes. That is a time that what my mother's going through, that we should all pull together and actually become a family since we weren't always all together. And,
Except when it came to money.
actually, I didn't have any money at the time. No, Tammy offered to do it, so I never once ever offered
She
to
didn't
pay
offer. She was called.
She offered. She said, "I'll pay for her," and I thanked her. I was like, "Tammy, thank you. I couldn't come up with the money. Thank you. At least we get our mother back." But it was all on her credit card, and we all were under the assumption that if she didn't get indicted and put into prison, that Tammy would receive a refund, is what we were told.
Is that right?
I was never told anything like that, and my understanding is you never get bail back.
Depends upon what percentage, I guess. There's a formula. Sometimes bail is very often returned.
Oh, it is.
Well, she was indicted on embezzling $650,000. So.
Why aren't you giving your sister back the property? Couch, television set. I think that there's a list of property. I want you to explain why to me.
There's a couple reasons. I was offered to buy them. I was told to sell my old furniture. I was offered to buy them from my mother, and as well as the plaintiff here, my sister.
Oh, okay, fine. According to you, you bought the furniture.
Well, pretty much, yes. Yes, I did. In my belief,
For how
I did.
much? In your belief? I told you you're going to get what you deserve here today.
Of course. Altogether, I believe I bought it for about $1,038.
And how much did you pay your mother?
Oh, I haven't. My mother never paid me for anything, so I haven't paid her nothing.
Just answer my question.
She has not received any money.
So then you didn't buy it. You see, there's not a completed sale.
I kind of did, because I was offered storage money and money that I would give it.
That's what I find interesting, Mr. Root. According to what I read here, well, first of all, you can't get your facts straight. You say that you bought the furniture from your mother for $500, and all of a sudden you come up with $1,030. Do you think I'm an idiot?
No, I think
Then one of us must be, because in your answer you said you bought it all for $500.
Well, no, that's all I was going to buy it for, yes.
But that's not what you say in your answer.
Well, my answer was that I was supposed to be given $100 a month for the 6 months of storing her
Don't get to
place.
storage. We're not there yet,
Okay.
Mr. Fast Dance. We are at the point where you swore in your answer that you bought this property from your mother for $500. And now you tell me it's $1,030. I mean, do you just have a problem with numbers?
Not at all.
When did you not tell the truth? When you swore to your answer or a moment ago?
I have not told the truth at all.
Right.
Or I have told the truth, but I have not lied at all whatsoever.
No, you got it right the first time. You're the same Mr. Root who said, now that Mom's in trouble, we all have to pull together as a family. Isn't that what you told me a moment ago?
Yes, be closer.
And now, in your answer, you say, well, I agreed to buy my mother's stuff, and there was a lot more stuff that I had of hers, and I told her that she could leave her stuff here for $100 a month. My mother owes me $500 for storage, and therefore, we're even. Because I agreed to pay $500 for the stuff, but she owes me $500 for storage, and therefore, your mother doesn't make that much making license plates in prison, sir.
No, it was way before she went to prison, ma'am. This was about 4 months before she even went to prison. It was back in November of last year.
November of last year, she agreed to pay you for storage. This is the same lady who couldn't come up with $4,800 bail. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't think she had any money at the time. She ended up gambling it all away, I believe. My mother had a serious problem with gambling. She was at the casino
Mr. Root,
8 hours a day.
do you understand the ridiculousness of your position?
Not really, no.
Well, I'm going to explain it to you. First, you wanted to be a helpful member of the family, and then you're charging your mother to store some property in your house, $100 a month, and therefore you're charging that off against money that you promised to pay her.
After Tammy became vindictive like this, yes.
What do you mean after Tammy became
well, I was
vindictive?
going to pay for my mother's car. I ended up paying Tammy $518 for it. About 2 weeks later, she comes, takes it from my driveway.
Okay, so let me deal with you first, saying that I believe your sister when she says that you agreed to split your mother's bail 3 ways. So that's $1,600, her team. You will return all of your mother's property 5 days from today to your sister. Okay? Then we have an issue of a car. Now, I didn't quite understand the car issue, but I assume you're going to tell that to me very quickly, Ms. Powell. Let me hear it.
The car he was supposed to return, my mom had written him a letter before.
Return to whom?
To the finance company, because she owed money on the vehicle.
Okay.
He was supposed to call the finance company, have the car turned in. He took it upon himself to drive the car, and he drove it for almost 2 months. Come to find out, he had no insurance, no nothing on the vehicle.
So what's the damage?
When I got the car back, it was wrecked. There was $230 that I had paid for the rear suspension to be fixed, and I have estimates between $785 up to $1,200 for the body damage.
Where is the car now?
The car now is with my sister-in-law.
Forget it. What's next?
Okay, there's the computer system that was also at my brother's house.
You said that was scratched.
No, no, no. It
Or
was
damaged.
ruined, completely ruined.
And I don't know how it was before. Next.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
So you were having a party where there was illegal drinking going on in your room.
I do have proof that she was the one that, before the beer was poured over the computer, it punched me in the face and was going insane.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tamara Powell says her brother, Jason Root, owes for his share of their mother's bail and for the return of her belongings.
I do find that among all the other things that your sister wants in her pipe dreams, she is entitled to $1,600, which is 1/3 of the bail that was posted for your mother, because I do believe that you said to her, we're all going to pitch in together and we're all going to act as a family, and you shouldn't be totally responsible for Mom's bail. So I find that you do owe her $1,600. Judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600. That's all.
Why is that excused? Step out, please.
bail money, I mean, that's my mother's responsibility. She did the crime. She deserves the time. She's a convict. She's a criminal.
His greed of wanting things that don't belong to him took over and became more important than a relationship with his mother.
Tammy feels guilty about being involved in my mother's crimes from the very beginning. I believe Tammy helped my mother embezzle the whole $650. She knew about it the whole time. I know that. It was going through a joint account between both of them. Tammy was the first one brought in before my mother was even brought in.
I guess maybe it's probably his way of saying more vindictive things, and, you know, here you're on TV, so he'd probably like to say what he can.
I have my father and my little sister and my aunt and all them, but don't really care about Tammy and my mother that much.
I choose not to have a family. I don't participate in drugs and alcohol and stuff, and that's kind of the side that he's on, so I choose not to have that anyways. Relationship is fine just the way it is.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Schultz versus Minks. Step forward, please.
18-year-old college student Brad Schultz is suing his former friend, 18-year-old student Kelly Minks, for spilling beer on his computer during a party at his dorm room.
Mr. Schultz, where do you go to school, sir?
The University of the Pacific.
Where is that?
That's in Stockton, California.
You bored there?
Not really. I play baseball for the school's team.
Oh, what year are you in?
I was a freshman. I'm now going to be a sophomore.
Mr. Schultz, do you know what the word bored means?
Yes, I do now. Yes, I lived in the dorm rooms at University of the Pacific.
Somebody whispered what it means. I wasn't interested in what you play and at what sports you play. God, I feel like jaywalking. According to your complaint, the defendant, who was your former roommate's girlfriend, spilled beer all over your laptop. You wanted to replace the laptop computer because it's ruined. She says that it was you or your friends during some sort of drunken party caused the laptop to get ruined. You want to tell me when this happened, Mr. Schultz?
It was April 18th.
Okay. Were you having a party in your room?
Yes, we were.
How many people were in your room?
There was around 11.
Now, what makes you think that Ms. Minks ruined your laptop?
Would you like me to go ahead and tell you the whole story of the night, or?
No, I don't want to have to guess, Mr. Schultz. I just want you to tell me what makes you think that she hurt your laptop.
Well,
I'm not interested in the whole party, sir.
A
lot of people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. And everybody's drinking.
At the time that
And everybody's drinking.
Not everybody.
Half of the people were drinking.
Sure.
And you're not allowed to drink in the dorm rooms, is that right?
I don't believe so.
is not an answer.
I do not believe so.
Correct. So you were having a party where there was illegal drinking going on in your room. And a whole bunch of people, some of whom were drinking and some of whom were watching. Now, can we get to the proof that you have that Miss Minks caused the damage to your laptop?
Okay. The only two in the room at the time that the computer was found broken were them two.
Okay. And approximately what time was this?
This was 2:30 in the morning.
And what time did the party end?
I left the party, leaving behind them two and some of their friends. I returned that night at 2:30 in the morning and found just them two alone in the room.
Yes.
So I came down, sat down, and used my computer. And they asked me to leave. They said they wanted some privacy, and I said okay, and I left for a half hour. I went right across the hall, and I came back a half hour, and the door was locked. And so I started knocking on the door, telling her that I wanted to come in my room, and they were both saying, no, you're not coming in. Go sleep in the study lounge down the hall. And I wasn't about to go sleep in the study lounge, so I just continued to knock, and finally I started having...
Mr. Schultz, is what you're telling me, sir, that you came in and used your computer at 2:30 in the morning?
Yes, I did.
How come you didn't put that in your complaint, sir?
Excuse me?
How come you didn't write that in your complaint, Mr. Schultz? Miss Minks, did Mr. Schultz come back to the room at 2:30 and sit down and use his computer for a half hour?
Nope. What happened?
Just answer my question. Are you the roommate?
Yes.
Stand up. Name?
Ben Hatch.
Mr. Hatch, did Mr. Schultz come back to the room at 2:30 in the morning and use the computer for a half hour?
Well, the first thing he did, it was already locked, and we were watching a movie. And what he did, he came in, grabbed pistachio nuts, stuffed them down his shirt, and that's all I remember. And then after that, we told him to leave. That's why we wanted to leave.
Answer my question.
I never saw him touch the computer.
Right, because he didn't come in to use the computer. Sit down.
Your Honor, I have a witness that saw me sit down and use the computer.
Let me see the witness.
is a statement from him.
I don't take statements from a witness.
Okay, well...
And if you thought it was important enough to get a statement from a witness who saw that, sir, or from a friend of yours, then you would have put it in your complaint. So you didn't sit down and use the computer at 2:30 in the evening. No. I don't believe, Mr. Schultz, that you used the computer at 2:30.
Your Honor,
Let's start with that. I don't believe you used the computer.
I used the computer, Your Honor, and I'm sorry that you don't believe me. I'm under oath here, and I'm telling you the truth.
And I'm telling you, I don't believe you used the computer, Mr. Schultz. I believe you came back and tried to get back into your room, and they wouldn't let you back into the room. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you saying that I would not notice that there was beer poured all over my computer when I returned?
I'm saying, sir, that you have no proof that she poured the beer on your computer.
I do have proof that she was the one that, before the beer was poured over the computer, it punched me in the face and was going insane.
Listen to me. You have no proof that she poured beer on your computer. That's what you're suing for. Laptop computer. And you don't have proof that she did it. Sorry, Mr. Schultz. Don't have it. Shouldn't have beer parties in your dorm room. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Step out, please. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Miss Pratt, how many kids do you have?
Total of 3.
How many live with you?
2.
How old are they?
14 and 9.
This is the 14-year-old.
Yes, ma'am.
What's his name?
Michael Edward.
And how old is the third
She's
child?
9. Oh, the oldest one is 21.
So she's out of the home. He's out of the home.
Yes.
How long did you know Mr. Moulton before he moved in with you and your 2 children?
About a month.
And why did he move in with you?
He wasn't able to pay his rent, and we wanted to join finances so we can both afford to live in my house that I own.
When he came to live with you, did he come to live with you as a boyfriend?
At first, yes.
What do you mean at first? So were you sharing a room with him?
Yes.
So you knew him 1 month before he moved in?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
2.
Who did they live with?
Us.
So you moved in together, blended your families after knowing each other for a month. You now had 4 children living in the house. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And the 2 of you. And when was it that he moved in?
About a month after we met each
Give me
other.
the month.
That would have been in November.
Of 2003.
Yes, ma'am.
How long did he stay in your home?
Until the end of February of 2004.
And at that point, you say he left owing you rent?
Yes, ma'am.
That he took some property that didn't belong to him when
Yes,
he
ma'am.
left? And he also took your son's snake and mice, and you want them back?
Yes.
And broke camera?
Yes.
Whole bunch of stuff. Okay. He left in February of 2004.
Yes.
Tell me why he moved out in February.
We weren't getting along.
Just that. You just weren't getting along. There were no major battles in
Yes,
February.
there were. There was a lot of battles.
What happened in February, sir?
Well, Your Honor, it was prior to that. It was more like after Christmas. I received custody of my children from domestic violence. When I brought them into her home, her children were very violent to her and to me and to my kids. And as a father, I cannot put my kids in that situation. That is why I left.
Okay, fine.
There was no agreement when I moved in about paying rent.
No, I didn't ask you anything else.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not your case yet, sir. It will get there. Because, Mr. Moulton, you're not going to tell me that a man who has custody of his 2 children moves in with a lady who has custody of her 2 children and expects somebody else to take care of him and his responsibility. Now, I don't want you to even answer that question, sir, until you think about it a minute.
I don't need to think about it. The answer is absolutely not.
Good. So I just want to make sure that that was not your agreement. Don't speak. You'll have an opportunity. Now, so he left in February. Now, he moved in November.
Yes, ma'am.
And prior to his moving in, did you have an agreement with regard to the household expenses?
He told me that he would pay half of everything, and that he would never treat me the way my exes treated me, and that he would be responsible and take care of his obligations.
Good. So he made some sort of general statement that he would take care of his obligations. So how much money did he contribute to the household in November?
He only helped with food.
When you say he helped with food, what do you mean he helped?
He paid for half of it, and I paid for half of it.
Okay. And did you have a discussion with him in November that this wasn't what you had agreed to?
More or less in December. He did originally have a job when he started. The first week he lost his car because it broke down, then he lost his job because of it. I even gave him my car, and he would drop us off at daycare and work, and he would try to look for a job, but he didn't have money for gas, so I had to put all the gas in the car also, besides paying for the insurance and for the $315 that I pay monthly on my
Okay,
car
just a second. So he lost his job. You lost your job, is that right?
I was laid off prior to moving in.
Fine. When did you get a job?
January, I believe it was, delivering flowers, and I was using my car because I had bought a car.
When did you buy a car?
In January.
With what?
I received unemployment and child support from my wife, which is what I paid for it.
How much money did you receive in child support?
I received $300 a month from my 2 children.
And how much did you receive from unemployment?
$125 a week.
So about $800 a month.
That's correct.
And you were receiving the $800 a month starting in November.
Absolutely.
And how much did you spend on your living?
I contributed most of my money to her in the household.
How much each month?
I probably kept $50 a week for myself and bought a case of diapers for my daughter.
Yes.
And I paid for all the food.
How did you then buy the car?
Money from my wife. Other money. I had this money. I saved some money. I had money before I moved in with her.
How much money did you have?
The car was $99 down.
How much money did you have?
A few $100.
You're talking fast, sir.
A few $100.
When he wasn't giving you money towards the mortgage and he wasn't giving you any money towards the rest of the household expenses but paying for half the food, did you have discussions with him periodically about money?
Yes, we did, and he kept telling me that to leave it go, that he would take care of it, just quit bringing it up, but he knows he owes it.
Okay. Now, when he left in February, what kind of a discussion did you have with him about the expenses and the money he owed you?
He agreed on $500 a month, and I told him, what about the phone bill, because he was calling his ex-wife on long-distance charges that I wasn't supposed to pay for.
Just a second. So he agreed to give you $500 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
For the 3 months that he lived there?
$500 a month, yes.
But he did not give you the $500
No, he
a
did
month.
not.
And this is after he already moved out?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that sound familiar, Mr. Moulton?
No, ma'am. I had no agreement with her. When I told her I was leaving because I did not want my children in the violent atmosphere
I understand
any
that. She
longer,
says that after you left, you had a discussion with her because she racked up large phone bills talking to your ex-wife and a lot of other expenses, and she says you agreed to give her $500 a month for the time that you were there with your children, and that you would pay for it out of your tax returns, but then you didn't get your tax returns right away.
It's not true. I agreed. I told her I paid her what I paid her, and that was it. There would be no more money given to her.
All right,
I fulfilled my obligations to her. My priority was to get my children out of that violent situation.
I heard what you said about your priority. I heard. Now, what items did he take from the house that you say didn't belong to him?
Whenever he moved in, he threw out my bike, which meant a lot to me. I had it since I was
He threw out what he moved in?
An antique bike.
Shh. You said when he moved in, he threw out your bike?
Yeah, when he moved in, he started going through all my stuff, throwing out everything that he thought I didn't need and I didn't use. So he threw out my furniture, he threw out some of my items.
You should have thrown him out if you didn't want him to do it.
She asked me to help her organize her house.
Just a sec. Do I look like I need help?
No, ma'am.
If you didn't want him to throw away these things, Miss Pratt, and he was throwing them away when he moved in, you should have thrown him out. You didn't do that. Now you don't come and sue him.
Well, he had two small children.
Do you understand? You don't come and sue him after the fact.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen, you want to go on, some of you go on Dr. Phil if you want to talk about your problems. I don't want to talk about your problems. I want you to tell me, this is a court. What does he owe you?
And later today,
You were going on this trip to celebrate a milestone birthday.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, 50 is the new 30.
I like that. That's right.
I agree with you. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carol Pratt says former live-in boyfriend James Moulton owes for rent, a broken video camera, and the return of a snake. James says he moved out because Carol's children are violent.
Let's get to the snake, because I see we don't have anything.
Well, after he moved out and that my son was giving me a hard time, so I grounded him from the snake for a week, and I asked him to hold on to the snake and to the mice in the cages, and I gave him food and the bedding for them, and I said it will be a week. When I went back to get it a week later, he told me it either died or he froze, and he gave me different excuses every time I seen him.
What happened to the snake?
She asked me to take the snake. I took the snake and the mice to my house. The snake got away out the back door. I had the mouse. It wasn't a, or will you watch this, or will you babysit this snake until my son gets out of boot camp? It was, do you want the snake? Yes, I do. She put it in my car. I took it home. 4 months later, she wants the snake back. It's gone.
How long did you have it?
4 months.
You had it for 4 months?
I begged for 4 months to get it back.
Okay, next.
Well, when we were living together, he was drinking too much. That's why my son was getting upset. My children had a hard time with him because of the type of friends he was hanging out with. He was bringing...
Just tell me, I'm not interested. Listen, you want to go on, some of you go on Dr. Phil if you want to talk about your problems. I don't want to talk about your problems. I want you to tell me, this is a court. What does he owe you?
$1,650.
For what?
for living expenses, for the utilities, the phone bill that was over, for gas, for using my vehicle when he used it for the months that he didn't have a car.
Stop being a baby.
Your Honor.
Stop being a baby. The relationship didn't work out. He's not going to pay you for putting gas in the car. I believe that you had an agreement that he would pay for half of the expenses. Here you are living, your 2 children, his 2 children, and he can't live rent-free. He can't live utility-free. And he receives, in addition to that, he receives child support and unemployment insurance. So he receives $800 a month.
And I didn't know about the unemployment.
Well, he received, according to him, $800 a month. And if what you believe and what he agreed to pay was $500 a month, that's perfectly reasonable, leaving him $300 a month for extra expenses, and that's without a job. And certainly if you got a job in January, sir, delivering flowers, you could have gotten a job Christmas time delivering flowers too. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Jealousy?
Jealousy? No.
She's jealous that I'm with another woman and won't be with her.
There's no jealousy. Sorry, Jim.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Abernathy versus Millard. Step forward, please.
Flight attendant Ellen Abernathy is suing her former friend, Jill Millard, for her share of a European vacation. Jill says she paid her back with babysitting.
Miss Abernathy, I gather from your complaint that you and the defendant used to be very good friends.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your lawsuit claims that the defendant owes you money for her expenses for a European trip, for a piece of jewelry that she purchased there that she put on your credit card, and for a loan that you made her for an attorney while she was going through some matrimonial difficulties.
Yes, Your Honor, that's right.
So, you were going on this trip to celebrate a milestone birthday.
That's
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, 50 is the new 30.
I like that. That's right.
I agree with you. That's the way it is.
Yes.
So you were going to Europe for your 50th birthday?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was going?
Myself and my husband, Bill, my son, Alex, who was 10 years old at the time, and his best friend, who was 10 years old at the time.
Where were you going?
We went to Zurich, took the train to Florence, went to Cortona, my favorite, Assisi. I saved and planned for 10 years for this trip. It was very, very important to me.
Sounds like a beautiful trip.
It was wonderful.
Under what circumstances did Miss Millard join you on the trip?
My middle son was not able to go on the trip with us, and so I had a ticket that I was going to turn back in, and Miss Millard said, I've never been to Italy and I've always wanted to go. Can I go along? She was my friend at the time, and I said, well, I have the ticket, but you know, with your finances, can you afford to pay for your part of the trip? So long story short, she said that when she got back from the trip and got on her feet job-wise, that she would pay me back.
Okay.
So that was fine.
Okay. The ticket that you had for your son that you were going to turn back in, was it a refundable ticket?
Well, it was refundable in that I used my frequent flyer miles, and I was just going to turn it back in to have the miles refunded to my account.
Okay. So the expenses that you're talking about are the hotel expenses and the meal expenses, not the plane ticket.
Exactly.
So you're really asking her for the money for her share of the expenses for the trip, not for the plane ticket.
That's right.
Okay. And that was, according to you, your agreement?
Yes.
Now, what happened when you got there with regard to this piece of jewelry that you're suing her for?
We were in Assisi, and they had a very specialty jewelry shop that had Etruscan-type jewelry, and Miss Millard came into the shop and was very taken with a couple of different pieces of jewelry. She did say, I really can't afford this, I really shouldn't get this, but I'll never see jewelry like this again. And I said, well, if you want the jewelry, you can pay me back for it. I understand. She was my friend. I wanted her to have something nice if she wanted it, but I could not afford to get it for her. And so she chose some jewelry, and I went ahead and put it on my credit card with the understanding that she would pay me back for it.
When you say you had the understanding, did you say that to her?
Yes, I did. My husband was in the shop at the time, and he heard that.
And how much was the jewelry?
It was $394.89.
Okay. What were her expenses?
Her expenses were $2,200. That is for 20 days of hotel.
So about $100 a day?
Yes, ma'am. That's very inexpensive to stay in Europe.
Okay. Plus the $394.
Yes, ma'am, but I had tried several times to call her, and she would either not return my call, or she would return my call and say, don't bother me about this right now. I don't have any money to pay you. So I called her and I said, I'm really sorry it's come to this, but I'm going to have to take you to small claims court. I don't want to do this. I've waited until September, and it had been since the end of June when we had returned. And so she sent me a money order for $100 and a card that was not very complimentary to me.
Can I see it?
Yes, ma'am. I had told her I felt that she had looked at me as an opportunity, not as a friend, and she took...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this card, this shows that she's sending you something. She didn't feel as if friendship was all about money. Clearly to you, she says it was all about money, whatever. When did you advance her this money for an attorney?
It was in the early part of 2004.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding that.
She had phoned me very upset and said that her ex-fiancé was pressing her about personal issues and making all these charges against her, which I did not believe were true. And so she asked me if I would please help her. She didn't know who to call. She needed an attorney. And I said, I know someone who may be able to help you, but they'll need money. No attorney is going to take your case for nothing. And she said she didn't have any money. I said, well, I can help you. I'll loan the money to you, but you have to pay me back. I cannot afford just to pay your attorney's fees. She said, I'll do anything. I just need that attorney.
Okay, so I'm ready to hear you. Let's start with the attorney's fees because that came first.
Okay. I was in a very serious circumstance and I needed some help.
You needed money?
Yes. And she was very kind in helping me in that particular instance. And
So is what you're telling me, Miss Millard, that you expected her to pay this $2,500 and that you would not be paying her back?
Oh, no, no, no.
So you're now telling me that you agree that the $2,500 was a loan?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you didn't say that in your answer. What you said was that the attorney was her idea and it was not a loan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood the question.
Who did you expect to pay for that?
Well, before we went on the trip, we had an agreement. Her middle son could not go on the trip, and so I was kind of a fill-in. He had already been accounted for all the expenses, so the expenses mostly were already paid for. So
no, that's not true. There's food.
Right. So what
that food wasn't paid for.
I agreed that I would be responsible, that I had brought cash and would exchange for the euros once we got to...
How many dollars did you cash for euros and give to her?
I believe I cashed $200 in American dollars, and I gave them 60 euros.
Is what you're telling me, that you gave her 60 euros for 20 days that you were in Europe?
No, not for 20 days, for the 3 days that I couldn't get to the bank. And the rest of
what
that
happened after you went to the bank?
I was paying for my own meals.
How were you doing that?
With my own euros.
Now let's get to the jewelry. What happened with the jewelry?
We were in a CC and we went into this jewelry shop and she said, oh, come and look at this beautiful jewelry. But I knew that I couldn't afford any of the jewelry. And so she said, well, how about if you pick out these pieces? And I brought the pieces. And then once we get home, we'll set up a way for you to pay me back in increments, because she knew when I got home that I would be starting a new job.
So it was a loan?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that's not what you say in your answer. You say that it was a gift. So now you're telling me, Miss Millard, that it was, in fact, a loan. Did you start paying her back?
Yes, the reference to the $100 money order was first part of the installment.
Well, you owe her $4,994 in addition to this $100. So what you're telling me is you acknowledge the debt.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,994.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may 344 in the calendar in the matter of Crawford versus Clark. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. You young folks have a seat.
Miss Crawford, it is your claim that Miss Clark's daughter injured your son.
Yes.
Your son is 5. Your daughter is how old?
11.
And you want Miss Clark to be responsible not only for medical bills, but for his pain and suffering.
Yes.
Miss Clark says you are responsible because you should have been watching your son more carefully. Your son is responsible because he was misbehaving. Everyone's responsible except her daughter. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Over here. What's your first name?
Cameo.
You know this young man?
Yes, I do.
What's his name?
Devontae Crawford.
Do you remember when this incident happened?
Yes, I do.
What's the date?
June 20th, 2008.
You were in your house?
Yes.
Do you have a private house or an apartment?
Apartment.
What floor do you live on?
First floor.
Who was home with you?
Actually, I was staying with my auntie.
So was this in your house or your aunt's house?
My house.
So you were home, and who was home with you?
Nobody.
You were home alone?
Yes.
How long had you been home alone?
I only came downstairs for like 5 minutes.
Your aunt lives in the building?
Yes.
So you had your own key to get into the house?
Yes, I do.
What time was that?
I don't remember.
Morning, afternoon, or evening?
Afternoon.
Was it a school day or a non-school day?
It was a school day, but I didn't go to school.
Why didn't you go to school?
Because my graduation was on Monday and I had to do my hair.
Who was doing your hair?
Actually, that day I was pulling it out.
What does that mean?
Like I was pulling out the braids on my hair to do it.
And you were doing that in whose house?
My house.
Where was your mother?
She had went to work.
So you weren't at your aunt's house. If you were pulling out your hair, you just told me you were at your house. What time did you go to your aunt's house?
When my mom was leaving, she brought me up there.
Did your mother know you were staying home from school?
Yes.
How do you do in school?
I'm a really well-behaved child.
How do you do academically in school?
Really good.
Okay, so now why don't you tell me what happened when you were in your house with Devontae?
All right, I was actually upstairs with my auntie where my mom dropped me off. And I came downstairs.
Don't look over there, look over here.
And I came downstairs to give my brother something, but when I came down there, he wasn't there. So then I came inside, and I heard him throwing things out the window. So
Just a minute. What did you go inside your apartment for if your brother wasn't there?
I went inside there for icy.
So you went inside to get something to eat?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then I heard him throwing things at the window, and I went there.
Who throwing things at the window?
These, like, a lot of kids in the backyard.
And what were they doing in the back?
They was fooling around and throwing rocks at the window.
Which window?
My window.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So when I looked out the window and I told them to stop, and they told the rest of them not to listen to me. So I tried to scare them by throwing out the water out the window.
What water?
The water from the pipe. So I was trying to
What pipe?
The kitchen pipe.
You got water from the kitchen sink?
Yeah.
Hot water?
No, not hot water.
Well, Devontae was burned.
The first few times when I was throwing the water, it was not hot.
But then you kept throwing the water.
Yeah, until like the water eventually got hot. And then when I finally someone I threw it out, I heard somebody scream. So I went outside to see what happened when his mother and his family was actually yelling at me. And she said she was gonna call the cops, so I got scared and ran.
So you stayed downstairs for quite a while.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to be there alone, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I wasn't supposed to be in there.
Alone?
Yeah.
At all? Right?
Yes.
Your claim, Ms. Crawford, is that your son was injured and he had at least second-degree burns on part of his body.
Yes.
Do you have the medical records?
Yes.
I'd like to see them, please. Ms. Clark, you do understand that Ms. Crawford's son had second-degree burns on his body as a result of what your daughter did.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what I'd like you to do is try to explain to me, madam, why you do not think that you are responsible minimally to pay the medical bills, inasmuch as your daughter was home from school for no reason, violation of the education law, unsupervised, because while you may have left her upstairs, she clearly violated your rule and was downstairs alone. Because if you think I believe this whole story about, she went in for an ice pop, I don't believe that, and neither should you. So somebody has to pay these medical bills. Now you're going to explain to me why you think it shouldn't be you, as the parent of this young lady, who caused the damage.
Okay, I felt like I was responsible because he was in the back of the building, and that's something that I'm not going to say only him, a whole bunch of kids, they do on a daily basis. I will come home from work and there'll be rocks in my bathroom because I'll be leaving the bathroom window open a little bit from them staying in the back of the building and throwing rocks. When I spoke to Miss Crawford after the incident, me and my mom went to her house the same evening because I was at work, and my sister-in-law called me at work because that's obviously where she ran to after she was confronted by Miss Dawn, about what she did. And my sister-in-law called me at work. I work like 2 hours from home, so it took me a while to get home. When I got there, my mom already went and got her back from my sister-in-law. They spoke to the cops, so I went and asked her family. They told me she didn't come back from the emergency room yet. I seen her the next day, and she told me he would be all right if he just takes the medication. I seen him on a couple of occasions, and she kept telling me he was fine. So I didn't know I was going to be held responsible for a bill.
Do you think that you're responsible for the bill? Do you think that your daughter's responsible for the bill?
Well, my daughter's a minor, and I'm a mom.
Right.
So.
She's a minor. So then that would mean that if she would be responsible, you would have to pay the bill as her mother.
Which she didn't know it was hot. I guess she turned the faucet on and kept running back and forth, so eventually...
That's what she did.
I guess it got hot.
You say she put water in a cup and threw it down at the children, but that's really not what happened. What happened is she kept going back and forth, right?
Yeah.
She threw a lot of water at the children.
Used that. She told me she did it 3 times.
Do you believe her?
Yeah, I believe that.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dawn Crawford says 11-year-old Cameo Forbes poured scalding water on her 5-year-old son, causing second-degree burns.
Okay. Your name is?
Devontae Williams.
Okay, so you were throwing some rocks at the window?
No, it was other people, her cousin.
Whose cousin?
Camille's.
Is that her name, Camille or Cameo?
I don't know her real name. We just call her Camille.
So Camille's cousin was in the back?
Yeah.
How old is that person?
7.
Was that person throwing rocks?
Yes.
Get up. Stand next to your mother. Was your cousin throwing rocks? You better tell me the truth. You looked outside. Was your cousin there?
Yes, she was there.
Did you throw water at her?
Yes.
Did you tell your mother she was throwing rocks?
Yes, I did.
She told me she was throwing rocks. My niece told me she was back there doing it too.
Did you see anybody else throwing rocks? Just make sure you answer the question. Did you see anybody else other than your cousin throwing rocks?
Yes, I did.
Who?
Like her little friends and these other kids.
Do you know who they were?
Yes, I do.
Now you can go sit down. You know you did the wrong thing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You are absolutely 100% responsible for the medical bills that Miss Crawford had for her child. What were your medical bills?
The medical bills, the total is $1,773.91.
She's bigger than you are. She can cause a lot of damage if she doesn't do the right thing. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you think would have happened if she scalded and caused second-degree burns on your niece?
I'll be in the same amount of trouble as I am today, Your Honor.
Oh, a lot of trouble in your family, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Of course. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,773.
I have
Yes.
pictures of the damages.
I'd like to see. Terrible. Ms. Crawford, if this was an adult, I guarantee you, you would receive punitive damages. You understand that?
Yes.
She may be a big girl for her age, but she's still 11.
And she was 10 when it actually happened.
Terrible, terrible scars. Have you seen these pictures?
No.
Well, I want you to come up here. It's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yes.
Think that hurt a lot?
Yes.
Think you owe him an apology?
I already did.
Good girl.
She never did.
Yes, she did.
Yes, I did.
I made sure she did.
When did you apologize to
When
him?
I came back from Jamaica, like, they was outside playing, and I went outside, and he was like, hi, Camille, and I was like, hi, Devontae, I'm sorry.
Did she say sorry to you, Devontae?
Yes, I did. I
Well,
have witness.
Okay. You owe him a big-time apology. Did you apologize to him right after it happened?
No, because right after it happened, I didn't see him.
You should have gone over to see him.
I wanted to take her, but she said she was scared, so I went by myself with my mother.
You should have taken her over there. Take these back and show them to your mother.
She was supposed to show me the pictures because my sister said
Just
she
a
was gonna
second.
show
Don't
me,
blame
but she
anybody
never-
else.
I'm not, Your
Don't blame
Honor.
it. Just take a look at those pictures, and I want you to think what you would have done if somebody did that to your daughter when she was 5. Do you have any idea what you would have done?
I'll be upset, but
Upset?
I don't know what level I would take it to, Your Honor, but I know I'll be upset.
Go back to your mom. Children are not supposed to be left unsupervised.
I didn't leave her unsupervised, Your Honor. She was supposed to be with my sister, like she told you.
Then your sister was irresponsible because your daughter was downstairs in the apartment for more than 5 minutes. She told me 5 minutes, but she decided to take care of her hair downstairs in the apartment.
She was not supposed to. My sister, what happened? Why she didn't go to school?
I know.
She wasn't supposed to be down
I know. Your sister did not do the right thing. But ultimately, you're the parent. So if somebody did this to your daughter when she was 5 or 11, you would be furious, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You feeling all right now?
Yes.
You're not going to throw rocks, are you?
No.
Good. Don't hang around with people that throw rocks either. Okay? Good. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm going to take responsibility for what happened. And I agree with the judge.
My son really suffered. He had a lot of damages.
There's always kids back there throwing rocks out the window.
She did it on purpose. She told me she did it on purpose.
She was just tearful and scared because Devontae actually, she said, was her friend and she didn't mean to hurt him.
She came up the window and she started pouring water.
I heard him scream in the backyard.
That's when I seen Camille in the doorway saying, I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it.
Everybody was just yelling at me. I didn't even get to see him.
She was saying that she poured boiling water out the window and she didn't mean to do it on Devontae.
I should not throw hot water through the window on nobody.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Horsley versus Denon. Step forward, please.
Johnny Horsley is suing horse trainer Linda Denon for the return of a saddle. Johnny says his 15-year-old granddaughter sold it to her without his permission.
Mr. Horsley, I assume this is your granddaughter.
Yes, Judge.
And she was staying with you?
Yes, ma'am.
For how long?
She's usually there on the weekends, plus all summer.
According to your complaint, you let your granddaughter borrow your saddle, a saddle that you owned.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was an expensive saddle, and she sold that saddle without your permission to the defendant.
Yes.
You want the saddle back.
Definitely.
And Ms. Denon says she sold it to somebody else.
Yes.
Okay, step up. How do you know Ms. Denon?
There are neighbors. See them riding down the road every now and then.
Do they have horses?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you ride horses there?
Not with them, but at my grandparents', yes.
Tell me about this saddle.
Our neighbor gave it to us as a gift.
Gave it to who as a gift?
My grandfather.
To me.
Shh. I'm not speaking to you. When?
Sometime over the summer.
Was it a used saddle or a new one?
It was new, but it was 3 years old.
Did you pay for the saddle, Mr. Horsley?
No, ma'am. It was given to me by my neighbor. It still had the price tags on it. It had never been on a horse.
Could you tell me why she gave you such an expensive gift?
I do a lot for my neighbor. She's divorced, and she has 20 acres, and I help her a lot.
And what was the price tag on the saddle?
She paid, with tax and everything, a little over $2,000, ma'am.
And you allowed your granddaughter to use it for the first time?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you do with it?
I just used it on my horse.
Well, tell me how it came about that you sold it to the defendant.
I was riding one day, and her daughter-in-law invited me to go riding with some of the girls that ride down there with them. And we were just talking, and I brought up that one of her saddles looked like mine. And I brought up that I had two, and I was thinking about selling the one that I didn't use. And just came about that she wanted to go look at it because she was interested in it, and just took her down there and see the saddle.
Well, how could you sell something that wasn't yours?
At the time, I thought it was mine.
What made you think that it was yours?
Because I thought that the neighbor gave it to me as a gift because it was using it.
Explain that to me.
I thought she was going to let me use it on my horse, so I thought it was going to be mine.
So you thought it was your saddle to sell?
Yes.
How much did you sell it for?
I sold it for $250.
Did Miss Denon ask you if you could sell it, if it was yours?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you say?
I said it was mine, and that I was thinking about selling it because I had no use for it because it didn't fit my horse.
It didn't fit your horse?
No, ma'am.
And on what date did you actually give her the saddle?
On August 23rd.
And when did you tell your grandfather that you would sold the saddle?
The same day.
And what did he say to you?
He wasn't very happy about it.
And when, Mr. Horsley, did you contact Miss Denon about getting it back?
The next day, on the 24th, on Sunday.
Go ahead. I'll hear you now.
Yes, he contacted us. I had already picked up the saddle and taken it to a friend of mine who wanted the saddle for her granddaughter. And I met her partway between Orlando and Tampa, exchanged the saddle for the money. Originally, she had asked $150 for it, and we said that we felt that it was worth more than that. We offered her $250 because it was in very good condition. It was a good saddle.
Give me the name of the person who you exchanged it with within a 24-hour period.
Jean.
She a friend of yours?
Yes.
And how much did you sell it to her for?
$250.
And you sold it for $250 because you knew that it was a $2,000 saddle.
No, I sold it for $250 because in the market the way it is today, nobody's paying what they should pay for saddles or what you could get a few years ago.
It was less than 24 hours that Mr. Horsley contacted you. When did you contact Jean and tell her that you had this saddle?
On August 23rd, while the saddle and Christine was still in the house, I called Jean.
Then you better get the saddle back from Jean. I don't like the way you do business. Your responsibility is to get it back from your friend Jean, who wasn't even a buyer in due course, because you had a brand new saddle that you were paying 10% on the dollar on, and you were buying it from somebody who was underage. I can't even say it's a good faith sale.
There is no way for us to know she was underage.
I could look at her and could tell.
Today she looks underage.
Miss Denon, that's your problem. The law doesn't give you that luxury. The law says she is underage. Your responsibility is to get the saddle back from your friend Jean. Do it.
She won't give it back to me.
Really?
No.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. Then you deal with that. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You're welcome. Folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. Stewart, the defendant was your boyfriend. You have a child together.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Murky?
Yes, ma'am.
You have custody of your son, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is your son?
2 years old.
How long have you had primary custody?
Since, I'd say, around last June.
June of 08?
Yeah.
What?
He does not have custody. He was granted interim custody when I was in the hospital in June.
Does the child live with him on a full-time basis?
No, we have shared parenting.
That has not been passed.
Just a second.
That has not been passed through court yet, ma'am. She actually has been doing better. We have agreed on a shared parenting because I'm not trying to keep my son from his mother. That was not my intentions at all. But we don't go back to court till April.
Is that correct?
Oh, we do go back to court in April, but...
Is it correct that until April he has primary custody of this boy?
He has interim custody, yes.
And prior to June of 2008, did the child live with you?
Yes.
So I assume something happened in June of 2008 which required his father to take custody of him.
Yes, I was hospitalized for a week.
I assume you were having troubles at that point. If you were hospitalized for a week, that means when you get out of the hospital, he comes back to live with you unless you were having some difficulty in your life.
Right, he filed for the interim custody while I was in the hospital.
Ms. Stewart, your case is about the following. You say that at some point you came back to live with him and you had furniture.
Yes, ma'am.
And the furniture was given to you by your father.
Mm-hmm.
And he threw you out because, according to Mr. Murky, he found that you had been sending money to an old boyfriend in prison. And you want your furniture back and your television. Mr. Murky says that the furniture was given to him by your father. It was used furniture, with the exception of the television, which was in fact yours. Now, if this is your father, I'm going to make the following statement. Are you your father?
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you stand up? Is your last name Stewart?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stewart, I want you to listen to me very carefully, sir, before you say anything. Are we understanding each other?
Yes.
I worked and developed my skills in family court over 25 years. There isn't a story I haven't heard in one form or another. Are we understanding each other?
I understand.
Now, I gather from reading these papers that at the time that your daughter was incapable of parenting her child, that Mr. Murky, who appears to be a rather responsible young man, took over that role. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes.
Now it appears to me as if your daughter is probably doing better. That a fair statement?
She's doing very well.
She's doing very well. That doesn't mean that she's the more responsible parent. Do you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Stewart?
I understand.
I want you to listen to me very carefully. Because she's doing better doesn't automatically mean that she should have custody of her child. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Were you a good father?
I tried to be.
Did you live with her mother?
Yes.
Was her mother a good mother?
Yes.
Did you feel as if her mother was a better parent than you were?
Probably she was.
He's a better parent than your daughter.
That's not true.
Yes, Mr. Stewart. Right now, in your grandson's short life, he has been the one who's been responsible for him when your daughter was incapable because of whatever messing up she was doing. She was messing up. So I want you to listen to me very carefully before I ask you these questions, Mr. Stewart. Before you alienate him, who very well may be the primary caretaker of your grandson for a long time, before you alienate him by telling something that's not true, I want you to think about it, and the best thing that you can do is just say, I have nothing to say. Because Mr. Murky said to me in his answer that you came to him at work and said, I've just bought some new furniture. And if you can find a way to get the furniture over to your house, you can have my old stuff.
That is not true.
And I don't believe you.
Why would I give him furniture
Now,
and not my
why?
daughter?
Why would you give him furniture?
And not my daughter.
On what date did the furniture move into your house, sir? August, September, October. What date?
The middle of November. It was after my birthday. My dad gave it to me for my birthday.
Were you in rehab? Is that what, let's understand what we're talking about.
No,
Were you in rehab in June?
I've never been in rehab.
What kind of hospital were you in June?
I was at University Hospital. I was having seizures where I was blacking out and I wasn't remembering chunks of time.
Had you been involved with drugs or alcohol prior to that time?
No, ma'am.
Go ahead.
She was having problems. She was doing some things. I'm not quite sure what she was doing. She was running them up, but she was hospitalized for those
That's
reasons.
a very nice thing for you to do. So the reason you would give him the furniture, your daughter was then living with him. He had been caring for your grandson alone since June.
That's not true.
What do you mean it's not true?
I helped with the grandson. Me and my wife helped, and my family helped. It just wasn't all on him.
As it should be. Just a second. You're the grandfather. So if you and your wife helped out, that's fine. That's what you should do.
Well, that's what we did.
That's what you should do.
Well,
he didn't say to you, listen, I'm just a father. I can't take care of a 2-year-old. He said, I'm coming in. I'm going to take over. She can't take care of the child now. And if you helped, that's what you're supposed to do. You're the grandfather. Sit down, Mr. Stewart. You're not being smart. You have her television set?
Yes, I do.
All right. She gets back her TV because you acknowledge that the TV is hers.
Yes, ma'am.
Was all the furniture that went to his house all used furniture that came from your father's house?
Yes, it was bought December 2006. I have the receipt here if you'd like to see
That's
that.
fine. It's staying in his house. Do we have to deal with anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have a nonsense counterclaim, Mr. Murky. Your nonsense counterclaim is for half your rent because when she moved in, she was unemployed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So how was she supposed to pay you half the rent?
I understand.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That's why I said it's a nonsense counterclaim.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Emily Stewart says the father of her child, Ernie Murky, owes for the return of furniture. Ernie is countersuing for unpaid rent and a cell phone bill.
Okay, so you were in the hospital in June. When you got out of the hospital, where did you go?
To my apartment.
To your apartment alone. You didn't go to your parents' house.
No, I had my boyfriend that lived with me.
Which is now in prison. Is the reason
Just a
why.
second.
Okay.
So you left the hospital and went to your apartment with a boyfriend who's now incarcerated. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
And you lived with this incarcerated boyfriend until when?
We moved out August 1st.
And where did you go?
From there, I went to go stay with a friend. My friend.
And where did he go?
That
To jail.
isn't my problem. He did not go to jail. He went and lived with his parents.
When did he go to jail?
October, November, maybe November.
And what evidence did you find, Mr. Murky, that she sent money to him?
I found receipts showing plain as day that she was dropping the money off. Not sending it. She actually took it down there to him.
His mother paid me to take the money. It was her money. She paid me to drive it down there.
So at the time you were living with the father of your child, you were doing errands for your former boyfriend's mother by taking money to the jail for him.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
You get what I'm saying to you? Don't cut him off. Her judgment is south. Don't cut him off. You never can tell. Do you understand?
I
That's
understand.
why I didn't let you testify. You get back your television,
Ma'am.
period.
How about the...
I actually have another counterclaim. We have a cell phone bill that went into collections that's for $969.82. I have the last bill that was sent out and the collection letter showing that they're coming after me because I was the primary account holder on it.
When you gave her this cell phone, was she working? Is not an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Where?
She was working for PNC at the time.
I worked at U.S. Bank, ma'am.
When?
Before we split up the first time. It was probably 2 summers ago.
Oh, forget it, Mr. Murky. Forget it. I don't go into ancient history, sir. You get back your television, period. That's it. Goodbye.
I have a whole laundry list.
Goodbye. I don't care about your laundry list. That's what you get back. You have very poor judgment.
How do I have poor judgment?
I can ask your father to tell you how you have poor judgment.
Because
if you're
I had
living,
a medical issue? I was not in
because-
rehab.
listen
I
to
didn't
me
have a
very-
problem with drugs or
Listen to
alcohol.
me very carefully, madam. This is your problem. First of all, you had poor judgment in hooking up with somebody that ended up in prison. You had poor judgment in while you were living with the father of your child who was supporting you. You were doing errands for this person who was in prison by delivering him money. That's poor judgment. Now do you understand?
So poor
your father
judgment cost me
understands. That's all. Step
$3,000.
out. By the way, Mr. Murky, I wouldn't be so fast to give her shared parenting. I wouldn't be so quick to do that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to think about your child. You shouldn't cut her off from her child.
I understand.
She should see him, she should be with him, she should spend time with him. But you make sure that you're perfectly satisfied that this woman can exercise the judgment to share parenting with you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't understand why she thinks I'm such a bad mother.
I've pretty much had completely enough.
Ernie gave me a hard time about not having any income, even though he wanted me to stay home with our son.
She was offered money to do it.
She offered me $40 to drive 20 minutes away.
There was no reason for her to be needing that money that bad.
I just think he's bitter.
Watch your back.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ditas versus Danka. Step forward.
Victoria Ditas is suing her former tenant, 32-year-old Tammy Danka, for damage to her rental property.
Ms. Ditas, you rented your house to the defendant and you claim that she moved out and she caused extensive damage.
Correct.
Over $5,000 worth of damage. Ms. Danka says no such thing. She left the house in fine shape. There was nothing wrong when she left the house. She says that you actually owe her security deposit back and some damages because she says you've been bad-mouthing her around town and to her new landlord. When did you move into her house?
On October 1st, 2007, Your Honor.
What was your rent?
It was $1,650.
Do you have proof of payment of the security deposit?
I do not have proof of that because it was all included in the first month's rent.
Well, show me the first month's rent check.
Don't have that.
Well, then, I'm not entertaining your counterclaim for security deposit. She says you never paid her any security deposit.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous. All you had to do was bring me the check.
Well, I have in the lease that it shows that it's $1,650 plus the deposit on there.
Yes, she says that you never gave her the security deposit. And all you had to do was bring me the check.
I didn't have the check because that was so long ago. I didn't think it'd be...
It wasn't so long ago. It's not so long ago.
I didn't think
It's
it'd be a
year and a half
problem.
ago. What?
I didn't think it would be a problem to save that rent check.
You have to bring proof. This is court. Where did you think you were coming today?
I bought proof of a lot of other things, Your Honor.
Well, but the main part of your counterclaim is for security. Then you bring me the check that says rent and security.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Let me see pictures of the house before and after.
All right. The before ones. I have my own after pictures as well.
I want to see them too.
Thank you. Before. These are my photos, and these are her photos currently available online to show the difference there in the painting that she had me pay for.
Just a second. I just want to see the picture. Can I see the before pictures? These are before. Fine.
I have more too.
When was this picture taken?
That was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Prior to her moving in?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me see your after pictures when she left. When date did you move out?
I moved out on the 30th of June.
Here are some. I have more. Also, please note that the water was left running in the pool to damage the top.
Just a second. This is dirt. That's just stuff. The stove is dirt. And this, I assume, is to show me that she left dishes in the dishwasher.
Yes.
And this is to show me that she left a dirty refrigerator.
Yes.
Okay.
There are more.
And this is to show me that she left stuff there.
Yes. We needed to know what she was going to do with this.
Well, I don't know what she's going to do with it. So far, I don't see $5,000 worth of damage. I see a lot of dirt and schmutz.
There were holes in the walls.
All I want you to do is show me. So far, I don't see anything.
That's it. The garage doors were broken. The locks were damaged.
Don't tell me anything. Show me.
I actually had a company come out while I lived in the home to give me an estimate because it was broken prior to us moving in. And I used a stick, and I have a 5-year-old little girl with a pool in that backyard, and she provided me no locks. And I had the company come out.
Just a second. Is what you're telling me that you put locks
She never provided. It was already broken.
I'm asking you if you put locks in.
I tried, yes.
What do you mean you tried?
I had a friend come over because I had added an estimate and she wouldn't pay for it. She said it was too much money. So I had a friend, in fear of my daughter drowning, to put a semi-lock on it to try to get it to lock. But the door was broken to begin with, so there was no repairing.
So what you're telling me is you lived in a house with a pool with a child and you didn't have a lock put on the door?
I tried. Yes, I did. But
you
it was
can't
just
try!
Oh, it just broke
Listen,
again.
Listen to me. Yes. When your daughter is laying face down in the pool, you tell her that you tried to put a lock on the door? Don't you realize how stupid that is?
Well, I had snacks in it.
Hey, it's not her child.
I understand
I'm not
that.
excusing
I
the fact
understand that.
you're trying to talk over me.
Sorry.
That's not going to happen. I'm not excusing the fact if it's true that there was no lock on the door. What I'm telling you is you're the mother.
Right.
You're not supposed to say, I tried.
Right.
You're supposed to say, I took care of it.
Right.
What else? I don't see $5,000 worth of damage, madam.
of the state.
I'm not interested in that. I couldn't be less interested in your bills.
Okay.
I can only be interested in photographs of damage. So far, all you've shown me is a lot of trash and somebody who didn't clean well before they left. That's all I saw there.
No, that's the door alone. This had a lock in it. The people
Listen
that
to me,
moved-
madam. I see the door. I see the hole in it. I don't see $7,000 worth of damage, and I'm not looking at your bills. If you decided to renovate your house, that's your business. If you took pictures of the damage, listen to me very carefully. If you took pictures of a dirty toilet, then you should have taken pictures of holes in walls, ripped up carpet, banged out windows. But if you take pictures of a dirty toilet and a dirty refrigerator, and that's all you're showing me, then that's cleanup. For that, you get compensated. I mean, if you spent $300 to clean up the apartment, that's fine. But you don't get $7,000 for doing a renovation. Do we understand each other? Now, show me the pictures of the damage. I don't see any.
There's the dirty carpets that had human urine in them and feces on the carpet. They had to be removed.
Show
They're
me.
here. I'll show you.
Show me.
You justify human urine.
Show me.
Yeah, you know what that is. Here's the carpets. These were pale Berber carpets, very expensive. All of these are documented.
I'm not interested in your bills. I see trash on the floor.
No, there were dirty carpets. They destroyed the place. There were locks broken. These are honest people in Palm Springs that provided the services that will explain
Listen to me
it.
very carefully, madam. She's not renovating your house. If
She's
you
not.
took pictures of a couple of cups, listen to me, stop looking through. If you took pictures of a couple of cups on the floor and you took pictures of a dirty toilet, then you take pictures of actual damage that I can see. I can see no damage on this carpet except for a cup and a bottle and some trash. Do we understand each other? Now, if you have a bill for cleaning the house, I'll see it.
The carpets were not clean.
If you have bills for cleaning up the trash, if you hired a firm to come and clean up the trash that you say was outside, like here, or to clean the inside of the stove, or to clean up this mess, then I'll see a bill for cleanup. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you have that bill?
Well, I'm under oath, and I can tell you that there were rocks and marbles down my garbage disposal.
Your case is dismissed. Your counterclaim is likewise dismissed, madam. You don't have any proof that you paid any security deposit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused.